Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to another Watch with Nordic live commentary stream today. And we are back for the month of March after coming off analytically one of our greatest months ever here on the channel. I do again want to extend my gratitude to you guys. Last month was absolutely phenomenal. We broke a bunch of records in this channel's history. Not just Watch with Nordic history. We had so many people subscribe to the channel. We've met so many more great people since the month of February has passed. I might have said January. I apologize. I probably did. But thank you all so much for your support last month. And let's make this month even better. And we are here for the first of 2 today. And the first of 9 the entire week, as we get ready for a large batch of live commentary streams here today. Starting off with the Philadelphia Flyers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time puck drop. It's the third of 3 matchups between these two teams this season. Toronto initially took the first 2, both of them being split between Toronto and Philadelphia. And you look at these overall teams' records, they're two teams that their playoff hopes are not exactly in the greatest state of things. Philadelphia is in a better spot than Toronto. They are 27, 21, and 11, and are currently, as of right now, 7 points out of a playoff spot. The Toronto Maple Leafs find themselves even further away from that. 27, 24, and 9, and it seems like they're leaning towards the direction of being sellers. It's a possible last game for a couple of these players on this Maple Leaf roster. I've seen rumors based around Bobby McMahon, Simone Benoit, Matthias Michelli, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Calle Yarncrook. There are plenty of names out there on the market right now for Toronto, as it seems they could go down the road of getting rid of a handful of their players, not just guys who are on expiring rental deals there either. Starting goaltenders here tonight for both sides. These are projected starting goaltenders per NHL.com. On the screen is their Watch with Nordic stats, their stat and live commentary streams. Anthony Stolarz for the Toronto Maple Leafs, 10 games commentated, 5-4-1, a 2.50 and a .891 save percentage. He is actually playing against his former team here tonight. And then on the other side is Dan Vladar, who has been in 4 live commentaries, all with the Flyers, 1-3-0, a 2.50 goals against average, and a .819 save percentage in Watch with Nordic live streams. Their overall stats this season, Dan Vladar, 18-9-6, a 2.42 and a .907. Anthony Stolarz, 7-8-1, with a 3.51 and a .885. As we get ready for puck drop here in just a moment. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new to the channel. Also, like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the commentaries. And again, as we said, this is the first of 9 this week. It's going to be a phenomenal week of hockey here on the channel. I could not be more excited for what is to come. And a little update here from the Flyers. It looks like they will not have Travis Konechny in their lineup tonight. He will not play due to a upper body injury. He obviously did play against Boston, but is out tonight against the Maple Leafs. As we get ready for puck drop here in just a moment from Scotiabank Arena. And again, these are two teams that are currently outside of the playoff picture. Things aren't looking that great for them, but Philadelphia still holding out some hope. It does seem like Toronto, they may be out of things here. We shall see. What's up, Bon? Go Flyers. Love to hear that. Dvorak, an anytime goal scorer. Let's go Flyers. We'll see, Rob. Welcome to the stream, man. Good to see you here. And we get ready for puck drop here in just a moment. The Flyers doing their little preview. Still got a few more minutes till we start. We should mention the scouts and management people who are in the building for this current game between the Flyers and the Leafs. This is per David Pagnotta, just as of now. There are scouts and management members from Boston, Buffalo, Chicago, Colorado, Columbus, Dallas, Detroit, Edmonton, Los Angeles, St. Louis, Tampa Bay, and Vancouver. So there is a lot of staff and scouts here in the building tonight taking a look at some of the players who could possibly be traded of these teams. And there's a few guys that we've looked at and that we've already talked about. Obviously, Bobby McMahon there. You have Simone Benoit. You have Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Calle Yarncrook. I'm sure there's plenty of other names that I'm not mentioning on the Toronto side of things. For Philadelphia, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of guys who could be moved. The only guy that I've really heard been chirping around the market is Rasmus Ristolainen. That's the only guy that I've heard. There's a video on the channel talking about Risto. You can go watch that. It's a short. I recommend that. Go Leafs, go. We'll see if they get the win, Minnie. And just one more commercial break here before we get started with Puck Drop in just a moment. Again, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. What a phenomenal month of February we had, and I'm hoping that March is an even better month. I cannot be more excited for what we're going to be able to do here on this channel moving forward. But I'm looking forward to it. It should be a fun night of commentating. We have this one as our opening game, and then later on tonight, we have the Colorado Avalanche and the Los Angeles Kings. That's right. After the LA Kings fire Jim Hiller, DJ Smith is coming into that role. We will see how the LA Kings will respond following their head coach being fired in tonight's game. Not tomorrow night's game. Tonight's game. Yeah, good to see everybody in here. So again, starting goaltenders for both sides. Anthony Stolarz in net for the Maple Leafs and Dan Vladar in net for the Flyers here to open up this one tonight. And again, just in a brief commercial break here, and we'll get started with Puck Drop in just a moment. Yeah, I'm not sure if the team feels that way. We'll see what happens with what the Flyers decide to do, whether or not they decide to stay put or sell. I would prefer they sell, especially if they lose tonight. But overall, I don't know. Commentary records when we live stream these two teams. Let's go over those numbers really, really quickly here. Philadelphia 1-8 in 9 commentary streams, and that is their 10th commentary all time. Toronto is 9-7-2 in 18 commentaries. This is their 19th live commentary stream here tonight. And I'm still in commercial break here. Must be a slow start. Maybe there's something going on in Scotiabank. Is it like a theme night or something? That could be why we have a long commercial break here. It doesn't say the game's starting, so I'm not missing anything. Let's go take a look. Maple Leafs. It's almost 7:45 and we still haven't dropped yet. It is Prime. That's right. But I don't get access to Prime, so unable to see that. Matthews to LA. That'd be interesting. I don't think Matthews gets traded, though. I know there's been a lot of speculation about that, but I watched the TNT interview with Elliot Friedman, and he said there's no chance that he's traded, and that also Toronto actually went to him and asked if they take a step back, will there be a problem? And Matthews and his management said no. So I think, again, there's that as well. We'll see what happens there, but I don't think Matthews gets traded out of Toronto. SDPN streaming this game tonight? Nope. Flyers Cup. Oh, my God. That's going on. Prime delays the games. Ah, yes. I haven't done a Prime stream yet this year. It's been a while. All right, looks like we're ready to get underway here in just a moment. Just came out of the commercial break here. Let's get ready for the start of Puck Drop between these two teams live from Scotiabank Arena. And here we go. We're getting ready right off the bat as it is an Eastern Conference matchup between the Philadelphia Flyers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. It'll be Matthews versus Dvorak on the draw. And we are underway. Face-off coming up here at center ice is a tie-up and one back by the Flyers. Playing it now down low. Wrist the line, and Nylander try to steal it back quickly. Stolen back then by Sanheim, who will dump it down low into the Toronto zone. Now Tippett will throw it around behind the net, then back up top to Nylander. William Nylander will grab it down low then for the Maple Leafs. Drops it back then below the line. And now regrouping with it is Brandon Carlo. Carlo back to Morgan Riley, up to Bobby McMahon. McMahon to Carlo. Will dump it down low into the Philadelphia zone. Ristolainen picks it back up then for the Flyers, or he at least tries to. Now Dvorak takes it through center. Dvorak comes in, drops it back to Zegras. Zegras up top to Tippett. Shot on is blocked. Tippett will regroup now and throws it down low. Zegras gets it back. Trevor Zegras on the right side, up top then Tippett. Trying to deke around McMahon. Now battling for it down low in the corner. A minute gone here in this opening period. Sorry, I forgot to start it. My apologies. Sometimes I forget to start it. I apologize. There we go. It's back on. Here's Benoit now moving the puck through center. Broken off the boards then. Now Cam York regroups with it. Taking back around then behind the net. York picks it up. Will feed a pass to center. Michkov will bank it off the boards then for Bobby Brink down low in the corner. Fighting then with Max Domi. Up then for Tavares. Tavares pass to center. Benoit comes in. Slap shot on. Denied by Vladar. Rebounds there. And Vladar gets it back and covers up with 18:34 left to go. And a good save there by Vladar. We'll take a look at his overall numbers. 35 games played this season, 18, 9, and 6. With a 2.42 goals against average and a 907 save percentage. On the other side, again, as we mentioned in the pregame, former Philadelphia Flyer Anthony Stolarz. 18 games played this year, 7.8-1, 3.51, and 8.85. He's missed some time this year due to injury, as multiple other Maple Leafs have. And I think dealing with that injury, not being able to start the season off as well as he could have, I think it's influenced why Toronto has struggled. Puck is banked back down low then into the Maple Leaf zone. It'll go in there on Stolarz, enough for icing on the Flyers. With 8:16 left to go. Taking a look at one of the young guys here. Denver Barkey was with the London Knights last year in the Ontario Hockey League. Was a part of a Memorial Cup championship run. He was there with other Philadelphia Flyers prospect Oliver Bunk since I would say around early January. Actually, no, mid-December, actually. Denver Barkey's been up with the main club. He's now with Trevor Zegras. I believe he's living with Zegras as of right now. Face-off won by the Leafs. Michelli, a shot, goes up and out of play with 8:14 to go. There's a guy that could be traded there for the Maple Leafs. I'm not sure how much value a guy like Matias Michelli would have, but you got to take a look at it for sure. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It brings more people into the commentary. Face-off coming here in the Philadelphia zone with 18:14 to go. It is still a scoreless hockey game. Only one shot on. Joshua now versus Couturier. Face-off is won by the Leafs. Michelli stolen back then by the Flyers. They'll break it through center. Flip back down low into the zone. Now Hathaway racing for it. Will clear it down low then the Grundstrom. Grundstrom thrown up top. Emil Andre will dump it back down low behind the net then. It's picked up quickly by Michelli. Thrown back over then for Waugh. And a tie-up here on the right side of the Maple Leaf zone as Toronto tries to break it free. Morgan Riley. Back to Ekman Larson will fire a pass off the boards and back into the Philadelphia zone for another icing against the Leafs. Take a look at the Eastern Conference playoff picture. The second wild card spot is held by the Boston Bruins right now, 71 points. The Philadelphia Flyers with 65 points. Toronto with 63. It's safe to say Toronto is behind by 9. It's pretty safe to say that the Leafs are out of things. Philadelphia is still looking for hope. Maybe they can pick up some wins here over the next couple of weeks and get themselves back in that picture. Here's York to center. Shoots it wide of Stolarz. Up top now, Drysdale. Drysdale will move this one at the point. Tries firing it on. And that one is denied. Down low in the corner now, Zegras. Find the net then, Dvorak. Try to feed it past the center. Stolen back then by the Leafs. Michelli will clear to center. Joshua battling for it then with York. What's up, Sharky? Welcome to the stream. Flyers hold it back now in their own zone. It's Drysdale. Will regroup with the puck. Is the stream froze? What the hell? Refresh the stream if it's frozen. Bank back up top now. Sanheim. Down low around now behind the net. Ristolainen picks it up. Will throw it in front. Save by Stolarz. The rebound's there and colliding with it and kept out by the former Flyers goaltender. Yeah, you need a lot of help. That's the other thing with Philadelphia. I mean, like, the only thing you can really do if you're Philadelphia is just win. You got to win hockey games. And I think that's the way that, that's the only thing you can really do. You can pray and hope that other teams will lose. But the only thing that you can do is win. If you really want to push, if you really want to try and get to a playoff spot, that's the only way you can really, get in. Down low now in the corner, battling forward. It's banked off the boards then. Now Easton Cowan will play it back to former Flyer Scott Lawton. He'll dump it down low into the Philadelphia zone. Scott Lawton was acquired by the Maple Leafs at the trade deadline around a year ago today in exchange for Nikita Grabankin at a first, and we have a penalty coming up here against the Maple Leafs. It's going to be rookie Easton Cowan. Not a great start for Cowan. Thank you, Bond. No problem. Works now. School Wi-Fi here sucks. Not surprised it froze there. Yeah. It was looking okay on my end. It might have just been you. So it's going to be a penalty coming up here. I think it's against the Maple Leafs. It's going to be Easton Cowan for tripping. Frustrations in Toronto have been pretty bad recently after the tough losses to Ottawa, Tampa Bay, and Florida out of the Olympic break. Off the draw, Brinka's shot, saved by Stolarz. Rebounds there, tipping a shot, and that one is blocked off the board. Now Scott Lawton will take it through center. Lawton, back to Lorentz. Lorentz, short-handed breakaway, comes in, fires it, saved by Vladar. Now down low in the corner, Drysdale taken back by Lorentz, can't throw it in front. And now off the boards and cleared back down low to the Philadelphia zone. Here is their power play best at work. Flyers power play, 28th in the NHL. It's struggled. Maple Leafs PK is top 5. That's been one of the few positives here on the Maple Leafs. Here's Zegras battling for it now with Matthews down low in the corner. Jake McCabe will steal it back. Played ahead then to Wah. 2-on-2 the other way. Now Carlo will gain the line and dump it down low into the Philadelphia zone. It's all about running down the clock. If you're Toronto, running down that clock, not letting Philadelphia get any time in the offensive zone, and that's kind of what it's been so far. The Flyers, again, have struggled on their power play. They have been unable to convert it most times. Here's Cates, pass in front, save by Stolarz as Barkey got a open lane there, and Stolarz keeps it a scoreless hockey game. And that's what the Maple Leafs goaltenders have had to do here for a lot of this. Again, people look at the underlying numbers. They blame the Maple Leafs goaltenders. The defense has been absolutely atrocious in front of these Maple Leaf goaltenders. And really, what can you do? Again, maybe they're not playing the greatest they can play. But when you don't have guys who are defending in front of them, what are they really supposed to do? Denver Barkey out there on the ice. Power play goal this season. Face-off is won by Philadelphia. York down low then for Sanheim. Sanheim now below the line. Back to Cates. Cates looking for options now. Back over then Sanheim up top. York. Pass over. Barkey comes in. Doesn't take the shot. Will loop it back around with 30 seconds to go. Pass up top. York a shot. Denied by Stolarz. And the Leafs will get it to center. Lawton will try and clear. It's blocked off a Flyer. Now taking it the other way. Dvorak. Pass down low then. Barkey comes into the zone. The young rookie here for the Flyers holding his own. Now below the line is Cates. Cates to Barkey. Barkey up top. Ristolainen shoots it. Blocked in front. Rebounds there. And cleared away by the Leafs. Lawton will get it to center. And that'll pretty much do it for the Flyers power play. It was a better one than what I've seen previously this season. I've seen the Flyers do a lot worse on power plays. Go Flyers. Love to hear that, Rosa. Puck is banked back down low then into the Toronto zone. Ekman Larson to Riley. Riley will clear it to center. Now Tavares, 2-on-2. Pass back to Domi. Domi at the point, shoots it on, goes wide and behind the net then. And stolen back quickly. Through the zone now with speed is Nikita Grabankin, former Toronto Maple Leaf here. He's stolen back then by Max Domi. Domi comes in, shoots it, gloved by Vladar. Would not be shocked if we see a Nikita Grabankin goal here tonight. 13-15 left to go in the first. It is a scoreless hockey game. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. We are now trying to get to 5,200. We were recently just at 5,100. We passed that the other day. We've gained some subs since then. I really appreciate that. And now we are pushing for 5,200 now. Hopefully coming up here soon. Let's take a look at the status report. So again, I mentioned in the pregame that Travis Konechny is not playing tonight. He is dealing with an upper body injury. There were a few other game time decisions. I don't believe any other guys who were game time decisions are playing tonight. Adam Ginning was recalled from Lehigh Valley of the American Hockey League. So that is something to keep in mind there. He is not currently playing tonight. He is listed as a seventh defenseman, but that shows that, you know, the Flyers dealing with an injury there, not able to bring in, I believe Noah Juleson is the one player not in the lineup tonight. So there you go. And then for Toronto's side, Nylander moves up to play with Matthews on the top line. And then, I almost said Jason Robertson. Nick Robertson, brother of Jason, I believe, who is also a forward, will be healthy scratched for the Maple Leafs tonight for the first time since January 13th. And then as well as that, too, Easton Cowan slots in today as well. And I believe this is Cowan's first game in a while. And starting out with a penalty is not a great start for the Maple Leaf rookie. One of the only rookies here on this Toronto roster. And again, been very criticized by coaches and all that. And, you know, we'll see, of course. Highlighting one of the Philadelphia trade candidates here, possibly, Rasmus Ristolainen. 14 points in 33 games played against the Maple Leafs. Also played numerous seasons with the Buffalo Sabres before coming to the Flyers. Probably why his numbers are a little bit more amped up there in terms of games played and all that. Face-off coming up now in the Philadelphia zone. It'll be Couturier versus Matthews. Shots are 6-3 in favor of the Flyers. Here's Sanheim now down low. Clears it off the boards all the way back into the Toronto zone. Icing with 13:41 to go. The Office game? What the hell? They're doing an Office theme game? That's kind of tough, actually. That's actually kind of cool. Against the Blue Jackets. Maybe I'll have to stream that. Face off here again now in the Philadelphia zone. It's won by the Flyers. Sanheim clears it off the boards back to center. This time it will not be an icing. Now at center here, dumping it down low into the zone is Ristolainen. Cleared around behind the net then. Stolarz picks it up. Ekman-Larsson throws it down low up top. Risto gets it back. Cross-ice pass. Sanheim a shot. And that one goes wide of Stolarz. Now Risto, another chance, is blocked by Matthews. McMahon will clear to center. Waiting there is Nylander. Pass back then to OEL. Shoots it. And it goes wide of Vladar. Down low now off the boards. Couturier will look for options. Pass back is intercepted. Sanheim gets it back. Down low now. Ristolainen holds the puck. 12:50 left to go here in this first period. Scoreless hockey game in Toronto. Another icing against the Flyers with 12:50 to go. Well, you take a look at these two teams and how they've fared since the Olympic break. We talked about Toronto. It's funny because both of these teams are seemingly polar opposites of each other in terms of how they've done since the Olympic break. You look at the Flyers, they're undefeated. They beat the Boston Bruins and the New York Rangers since coming back. And then the Maple Leafs also losing to Tampa Bay, Florida, and Ottawa were the losses that the Maple Leafs have suffered. Hasn't been a great stretch of hockey, and you're winding down to the trade deadline here, and we're going to see what happens here in regards to that. But I think we're going to see some real changes coming up in Toronto here very, very soon. Face-off coming up here now in the Philadelphia zone. It's won by York off the boards then. Now Trevor Zegras will break this one through center. Zegras will dump that one down low then into the Toronto zone. Now Dvorak off the boards. Puck goes up and out of play with 12:31 to go. What's up, Ronald? My clock's a little bit delayed at points, so I do apologize for that. Would love to see my Philadelphia Flyers, because for those who don't know, I am a Philadelphia Flyers fan. I'm not going to be biased in this commentary, though. I will call them out when the Flyers are being bad, but anything else I'm not going to be biased towards. Do I think the Islanders make a move this week? Darsh could go big game hunting, but I don't know if that's a good idea. If they stay put, I won't be mad. If they soft buy, I won't be mad either. It depends on the move, but I think they probably will look the market out. If it makes sense, they'll do it. We'll see. Down low now, Jake McCabe here in the corner. Tried to throw it down low, was blocked by a linesman. Battling for it in the Toronto zone. Flyers get it back. Brink tried to throw it to center. Stolen back then by the Leafs. Here's McCabe. Pass through center. Domi will backhand it down low then into the Philadelphia zone. Now York in the corner battling for it with Nyes. Tavares also trying to get it free. John Tavares up top. Ekman Larsson shoots it on. Tipped. And wide as Joshua came out there on the ice. Off the boards now, Nyes gets sandwiched by two Flyers. Backhanded up top. Ekman Larsson a shot. And that one goes wide of Vladar once again. Now Wah. Down low now, Tavares. Stolen back then by Bobby Brink. Brink through center to Michkov. Stolen back then by the Maple Leafs. Grabbing it down low then below the line is Benoit. Back to Ekman Larsson. Here's Michelli now. Try to move that one through center. 11:20 left to go in the first. Scoreless. Here's a chance for Hathaway. 1-on-2. Garner Hathaway into the zone. Shoots it off of Stolarz. And back down low out of play. And we will see another whistle. What's up, William? Welcome to the stream, man. Good to see you here. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Like the stream down below. Subscribe if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it. We are trying to get to 6K. Now is the big goal in terms of the viewership, and the small goals that we like to follow here are puck is banked back down low into the Philadelphia zone. The little goal is actually 5,200, as you can tell. In the Toronto end now, Carlo picks it up. Carlo to the right side now. Ekman Larsson off a flyer, kept in by Grundstrom. Grundstrom battling for it, stolen back by Scott Lawton. Now Cowan, hit down low by Michkov. Battling now with Lorentz. Hathaway. Down low now off the boards. Delorier will clear it down low. Stolarz grabs it for the Leafs. Off the boards now McCabe. Back for Matthews. Matthews to Benoit. Benoit down low then for McMahon. Off the boards, Matthews now will break it through center. Austin Matthews chips it down low. Now Sanheim tried to clear it off the boards. Up top, Toronto trying to keep that one in. Not a lot of shots here in these last couple minutes. Since the power play, it's been mostly back and forth as we approach the halfway mark of this opening period. Still a scoreless hockey game. Here's Benoit. Off the boards to Nylander. William Nylander now trying to break it through center. Cross ice pass then for McMahon, who's backhanded down low then into the Philadelphia end. Sanheim off the boards down low. Cleared back up top then. Couturier taken back by Sanheim. Sanheim through center then coming in 3-on-2. Barkey will move it behind the net. Will throw it back down low then, just trying to survey his options. Now Couturier below the line, feeds it up top. Drysdale, cross ice pass into the zone, tip it up top, shot Blocked. Tippett gets it back down low now behind the net. Then he's knocked down to the ground. Drysdale gets it up top. Passing the point. York. Blocked. Picked up by Tavares. Tavares now with speed through center. Will flick this one down low into the Philadelphia zone. Now Drysdale picks it back up. Tippett through center now, trying to get that one to Dvorak. Battling for it on the right side, picked up by Drysdale. Drysdale with speed, can't get a clear shot on. Off the boards, Riley. Back over to Domi. Domi through the zone then. Tavares trying to steal it back. Now Riley gets it back up top. Right side then for Carlo, who will dump it down low into the Philadelphia zone. Around the right side now, Tippett. Back over then for Dvorak. 2-on-2 now through center. Pass drop back then, and the Flyers will regroup. Now dump down low then, it's Tippett. To Dvorak. Back to Zegras. Up top, Andre. Pass back over. Sealer shoots it. And saved by Stolarz. Rebounds there, and Zegras can't tuck it. It was right there in front, but Trevor Zegras couldn't get that one across. Here's Andre now. 2-on-2 battle kept in by Brink. A shot. Blocked in front of the Leaf sticks. Now Benoit will bank this one off the boards. Back to Waugh. Brink cleared to center. Now down low, grabbing it is Sealer. With 8 minutes to go. Shots are 9-3. We'll get a whistle blown here. With 7:59 remaining here in period number 1. Couple of opportunities here. Trevor Zegras had a puck waiting for him on a silver platter, but could not get it across the goal line. And is still scoreless here in Toronto. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. It would mean a lot to me, of course. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentaries. We are at 16 likes. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for giving the stream some love. Well, I would like to mention something that I got the opportunity to do this weekend. And for those who have been following the commentaries, you would know that I've been doing work with the ECHL's Reading Royals for a bit. I've been doing some reporting for them, joining them on their intermissions and all that stuff. But this weekend, February 27th and February 28th, to end out the month, I got the opportunity to do some color commentary up with the Royals. There's me wearing my pink tie. It was Pink at the Rink night, celebrating or raising awareness for breast cancer. There I am with my boy Eric Jessberger, who has given me the opportunity to do some work with the Royals this season. And it was a great opportunity. Again, we got to see how Eric puts together his commentaries for the ECHL's Reading Royals. I got to provide my own thoughts, and it was overall a phenomenal experience, and I'm very grateful to Eric and the Royals for the opportunity, and I can't wait for more. Again, it was just a year ago around this point where we were doing the commentaries. They weren't getting that much recognition. They weren't as big, but I was doing some stuff with the Royals, doing some shadowing opportunities and all that, and I got the chance to get a bigger role here this season. And just a year later, I'm doing color commentary. So for those who maybe want to be in my position, and maybe you want to become what I wanted, what I'm doing here with the YouTube and do what I'm doing with the Royals, go ask local teams. Ask the media relations members and local members of certain NHL, certain teams around your area. Ask them if there's any opportunities coming up. And then keep on in contact with them, keep working with them, because you never know, it could become something big. Here's Tippett, a shot now off the boards and wide. Philadelphia now in a power play with 7:40 to go in this first period. Get myself caught up here. Pass up top. Drysdale down low, Brink shoots it off the glove of Stolarz. Now Zegras will play it down low. Michkov below the line, then back to Zegras. Zegras waits for options. Trevor Zegras now pass ahead, then stolen back by Lund, shorthanded. Will bring it now through center. Pass ahead, then off the boards, and now Lorentz will come back to center and regroup. Can you find the calls somewhere? You can find them, I believe, on Mixlr. If you look up the Mixlr app and then search up Reading Royals, you can probably find it. Whistle blown with 7 minutes to go. I think a penalty is coming up against the Flyers now. That will do it for the Philadelphia power play, back to 4-on-4. Sorry about that, guys. Missed a couple of minutes, a couple seconds there of the game. But Hope my stream goes well, man. Watching Rangers Jackets. Thank you, King. What's the score of that game? I saw that game, but I can't stream it because it's on NHL Network. And I don't have NHL Network, sadly. I used to. I only have it like at a certain time every year for the World Juniors. So a penalty coming up here on Matvei Michkov, a power play, 4-on-4 for a minute 01. Oh, it's too many men, actually. So too many men for the Flyers. Of course, they make an error like that. So it'd be 4-on-4 for a minute, followed by a Leafs power play. Face-off here now, won by the Flyers down low. Drysdale, turnover. Laudon, a shot off of Vladar and wide. That was a bad turnover there in front. Here's McCabe. Back up top, Domi. Pass down low, then Laudon. Up to the point, Domi now regroups around up top. Max Domi. Down low to McCabe. Stolen back by Tippett. Owen Tippett racing for a 1-on-0. He'll poke, check it ahead. Trying to get around McCabe. Stolarz out of his net to play it. And it'll come back to center. And it was nearly a 1-0 breakaway for Tippett. Now Zegras comes into the zone. Comes down the right side. Fires it wide of Stolarz. Now Waugh in the corner then. Back over. Regrouping with it. Down low is Carlo as well. 4-on-4 will come to a close. Followed up by a Maple Leaf power play. 6 minutes to go in this opening period. Grabbing it then is Morgan Rielly. Rielly will drop it back then to Matthews. Power play begins for Toronto. A minute of power play time. Here's Tavares. Out of the zone now, trying to feed it up top to Rielly. Flyers trying to go on a 1-on-0 breakaway. Here's Dvorak now trying to play it ahead. And broken up at center and dumped back down low into the Maple Leaf zone in spite of that. Shots 11-3 here in favor of the Flyers. Here's Matthews now through center. Pass back is blocked off the boards and back to center. Now Rielly picks it up here for the Maple Leafs. Rielly back over then to Nyes. Nyes will move it through center. Dropped up top. Nylander dekes in. Down low in front. Jabbing at that puck. They can't get it on Vladar. Now in the corner, here's Nylander. Thrown back up top. Rielly. Back to Nylander. Nylander now will move it down low behind the net. Then Tavares up to Matthews. Matthews trying to deke around Cates. Austin Matthews to Rielly. Pass over to Nylander. In front. Nice. Fires it wide of Vladar. Flyers will try and get it out now. We're back to even strength. Good kill by Philadelphia. Shot on by Rielly. Denied by Vladar. And there is no rebound there either. So Dan Vladar having to make his first save there in a little bit. And we are still scoreless here from Toronto. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, I appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. And we are back to commercial break here yet again. Good start to tonight. I don't really have many complaints. That was a good start to the hockey game. No goals so far, though, with less than 5 minutes to go in this opening period. 2-1 Columbus. Okay. Not bad, not bad. There was a trade today. Trade deadline's on Friday. There will be no, sadly, I mean, I'll make videos on all the trades, but there will be no official deadline coverage. I can't because of school. And then I'm actually doing some work with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms of the AHL, so I'm not able to do a ton of trade deadline coverage. But on the days that follow, we'll be talking plenty of deadline talk. And I can't believe, like, the deadline's Friday. We're already here. And then once the deadline passes, like, it's literally, like, the playoffs are next. Like, it feels like just yesterday the season started. It's going by way too fast for my liking. And I've had a phenomenal time with these commentaries. I feel like it makes the season just fly. This year's gone by so fast. It's crazy. Under 5 to go in the first period. Dan Vladar out there on the ice has stopped all 5 shots that have come his way. Also, Anthony Stolarz has stopped all 11 shots that have come his way. You take a look at these two goaltenders. They're not that great in terms of their watch with Nordic numbers. Vladar has struggled by all accounts in all commentary streams. He does have the only win for the Flyers in all-time watch with Nordic commentary. Stolarz better record, but his numbers have decreased dramatically this season. Face-off coming up here now in the Philadelphia zone. It'll be Couturier versus Waugh on this draw. Face-off here now, won by the Flyers. Down low now, Andre will clear it to center. Barkey battling for it now. Taken back down low then by Ekman-Larsson. Off the boards to Tavares. Backhanded down low then to the Philadelphia zone. Sealer now on the right side, back to Michelli. Joshua shot. He scores! Dakota Joshua gets the ice rolling here in Toronto. It's 1-0 Leafs. Less than 5 minutes to go, and with time winding down in this first period, Dakota Joshua with a nice little pass in front there off a turnover. His 7th goal of the season, fires it up top on Dan Vladar. Assist on this goal is Matias Michelli. And it is a 1-0 lead here for the Maple Leafs in this opening period. Comes at 15:22 of the first. So the Flyers were putting on the pressure, but they were not able to find the first goal. And the Leafs will strike first. Cleared down low now into the Philadelphia zone. Drysdale battling for it now with Lawton. Now Noah Cates then off the boards. Back ahead then for Michkov. Michkov to Brink. Brink will carry it in down low. Clears it around then behind the net. Back over for Stetcher. Cleared all the way back to center. Grabbing it then down low below the line is Ristolainen. Now 4 minutes to go in this opening period. Shots are 11-7. Cleared around now behind the net then. Benoit will feed a pass. Turnover in front. Shot goes wide on Slores. Wraparound chance denied on Dvorak. Here's Nylander. Deking now through center. Nylander falls on his feet. Now banked off the boards and back into the Toronto zone. Here's McCabe. Jake McCabe now holding it below the line, then back to Matthews. Austin Matthews will dump it down low then into the Philadelphia zone. Sanheim back to Zegras. Now Nylander takes it below the goal line. Pass in front and off the post. Nearly made it a 2-0 game. Here's Zegras now through center. He gets knocked down to the ground. Now Tippett picks it up down low. Owen Tippett, pass in front, broken up by Matthews, and a delayed penalty here against the Leafs. It'll be on Carlo, and the Flyers will head back to the power play. It is going to be for knocking down Trevor Zegras. And we will see Philadelphia get another opportunity to tie this hockey game up. And what was nearly a 2-0 play. Matthews had a great opportunity on Vladar. He hit the post. And then Zegras comes down the other way, gets knocked down by Carlo. That is a penalty. And we'll see a Philadelphia power play. 3:13 left to go. Reading the wrong game. Face off here now in the Toronto zone. It's won by the Flyers. Philadelphia with already 2 power plays in this game. This is their 3rd of the night. Here's Zegras, below the line. Michkov. Saucer pass to Zegras. Zegras comes in, pass up top. Drysdale, a shot wide of Stolarz. Now Lawton battling for it against his former teammates here. Brink, stolen back by Lawton. He'll backhand that one back into the Philadelphia zone. Shots 12-6 in favor of the Flyers. Tippett, puck is flicked off the boards and back into the Toronto bench with 2:37 to go. Philadelphia just seemingly not being able to get the chances on. Nice little pass in front there from Michelli to Joshua, who was left all alone. And that's the only goal that we have so far. Here's Benoit now dumping it down low into the Philadelphia zone. Drysdale looping it around now down low. Will break this one out through center. Jamie Drysdale will drop it back. Tip it. Off the boards to Zegras. Zegras comes in. Cleared back down low then into the corner. Off the boards now behind the net then over to Waugh. Nick Waugh. Down low. It's taken back then by Benoit below the line then to McCabe. Back to Benoit who will clear it around then behind the net. All the way back to center. Halfway through the power play. 2 minutes to go in this opening period. York. Down low then for Dvorak. Dvorak will clear it around then down low back up to Zegras. Puck will slide back to center. Now Dvorak regroups. Dvorak over then for Barkey. Barkey to center. Can't get the shot on. Puck is banked around then behind the net then back to Dvorak. Dvorak now back to Barkey. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Up top. Drysdale. Back to Barkey. Barkey comes in front. Cates a shot. Save rebounds there. Jabbing at it. They score. Digging away in front. I'm not sure who gets credit. It looks like it'll be Christian Dvorak. And the Flyers have tied the game. And that is an example there of not giving up in front and numerous Flyers being left open there. There was like 4 Flyers in front on Stolars. And the puck finally slips through him. Christian Dvorak, a power play goal. And we are tied at 1. What's up, Johnny Half? Columbus fan, want them to win. We both got points. Yeah. Christian Dvorak, his 13th goal of the season, assisted by Noah Cates and Denver Barkey. And we have a tie hockey game here in Toronto. Cleared back down low now off the boards. Carlo. Played ahead then to center. Joshua will dump it back down low then into the Philadelphia end. Now Sanheim. Battling for that puck here now below the line. Approaching the final minute of play here in regulation. Here's Ristolainen now through center. Drops it back. Shot up top by Hathaway. Goes wide. Now played back to center. Drysdale picks it up. Drysdale being fought off then by Nyes. Taken around then behind the net then with 45 seconds to go. Hathaway. Down low then for Drysdale. Drysdale now as the clock ticks further down to 0. Banked off the boards here now through center. Cam York comes into the zone. Backhands it around then behind the net. Played down low now. Maple Leafs trying to get it back then. Back over to Benoit. 20 seconds to go. Puck is cleared all the way back to center. Tipped off of York's stick. Battling for it down low now. 10 seconds to go on the clock. Below the line, Matthews in front. Benoit shot goes wide. And with the final 5 seconds to go, Cates will hold it against the boards. Time will wind down. York brings it down low. That will do it for period number 1. End of the first period here in Toronto. Goals from Dakota Joshua and Christian Dvorak. And we are tied at 1 through 20 minutes of play. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We'll be back for the start of period number 2 momentarily. This is the clock till the start of the second. Nordic, realistically, if it's true, the Panthers are going to trade Bob for what he's worth. There is a video coming out on that tomorrow, Anthony. I'll make a video on that tomorrow. I have it planned and ready to go. But what I can tell you is, and I'm not 100% sure if they want to go down that road. They could. Bobrovsky's not had a great year, though. I don't know if his value is necessarily sky high, but we'll see. I think it's been tough to sign him, is what Elliot Friedman said on his report. So I would take that seriously. We'll see what happens there with that. But I don't know if they trade Bob. I think they still want to see how this week, how their first couple games go. But I think if Florida decided let's stay put, I don't think anybody would be upset. If they somehow finish in a draft lottery position, they get to keep their pick, and they get a top 10 draft pick, I think that would be insane. That would go a long way for that team. I know the amount of backlash it would cause, but it would go a long way for that Panthers roster. Seeing reports that Montreal will give up Reinbacher and Koppinen. If the return is good, you do it. But I don't know if there's enough there, really. So through 20 minutes of play, we are tied at 1 in this opening period. Let's go over the goals. Dakota Joshua scored initially. It was off of a nice pass in front from Matias Michelli after a scramble for it down low in the corner. He feeds it in front then for Joshua, who tucks it past Dan Vladar, makes it a 1-0 lead for the Maple Leafs. And then Christian Dvorak, it was on the power play, assisted by Noah Cates and Denver Barkey. Simply just keeping the pressure on Stolarz. Kept jabbing at that puck, as I like to say. And they finally got one past him there. And there you go. It is now a 1-1 hockey game after 20 minutes of play. Pretty solid first period. Shots were 13-7 in favor of the Flyers. Let's update the all-time stat sheet here. Dakota Joshua, first ever watch with Nordic point. That's pretty nifty. But there will be a video on Bobrovsky tomorrow. I don't know what the return would be or anything like that. I don't know if his value is necessarily that high because of the season he's had. He's also pretty old, but he is a rental. Imagine this. Florida Panthers fall out of a playoff spot. The Edmonton Oilers say, hey, we need a goalie. Let's go get the guy that beat us both times in the final. That'd be nuts. That'd be crazy. Imagine how nuts that would be. I doubt that would never happen, but like, could you imagine? Could you imagine? All right, just updating the all-time score sheet. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll go over the other games in the NHL in a moment. But if you have any questions, anything you guys want to discuss, comment them in the comment section down below. I know we're in trade deadline territory right now, so any questions, any comments about the trade deadline, whether or not what you think teams will do, if you want to know what I think teams will do. I mean, again, like I don't have a ton of knowledge. I probably hear the same thing you guys hear, besides giving my own opinion, but I mean, hey, if you want to hear my opinion, I'll give it to you. Was kind of surprised. I got a notification from they fired Evanson. But so far, Bonus has been doing well. Yeah, Bonus has done great for Columbus. It seems like what Columbus wants to do with their current situation is they want to just kind of let it play out. There were some people who, when Charlie Coyle's had a phenomenal season. And there's been a couple of people who've been speculating, could he potentially be traded? I think, judging from what I've heard, it seems like they want to try and see if that'll hold out. They want to try and hold out and see if they can make the playoffs in that situation. Yeah, you were right the second time. Does anyone know what happens when the deadline passes? No trades. Just no trades. When the deadline passes, there's no more trades allowed. It's pretty self-explanatory. You're not overthinking it. Why am I blanking on your name? Sharky. Sorry, trying to do three things at the same time. Kate. What happened to Kate's brother, bro? Is that Denver Barkey's first watch with Nordic point as well? It is. There you go. Go Habs, go. You're in the wrong chat, buddy. Did the Habs even play today? Habs play tomorrow, right? Heard the Blue Jackets aren't doing any trades. I think they want to stay pat. Friedman said on on the TNT broadcast that the Blue Jackets will stay pat. And I think that's the correct move. No problem, Sharky. You know we welcome all the new fans here. Denver Barkey, 717th player ever to score in a commentary. All right, let's take a look, see how this stream is doing. All right, thank you all for tuning in. I very much so greatly appreciate it. We just crossed over the 1,000 view mark on this commentary stream. Have Sharks tomorrow? Yeah, figured. I didn't think they played today. So thank you all so much for your support. Already off to a great start here on this commentary stream. Let's go over the other games around the NHL. Then I do want to, I'm going to put the commentary schedule for this week on the screen. So for those who don't know, we'll see what commentaries are coming up this week. The games that are currently going on, Columbus is up 4-0 on the New York Rangers. And that is the only other game going on currently. The goals in that game have been scored by Fantilli, Marchenko, Monahan, and Olivier. And a 4-0 lead for the Blue Jackets against the Rangers. Thank you, Glenn. And then the games that are going on later tonight, Canucks, Stars, Hurricanes, Kraken, and Avalanche Kings. We'll be live for Avs Kings. What people forget is that there was a game this morning. Well, not this morning, this afternoon. Detroit and Nashville, a 4-2 win for the Red Wings in Nashville. The reasoning for the game being so early was because of a cancellation due to a storm. I'm pretty sure that's why. I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure that's the reason why. And then give me a moment to put up the commentary schedule here on the screen. I got rid of the files, so I have to go get them back on the YouTube channel. So give me a second. Oh, Penn Ridge plays today. Where are they playing at? Huh. Wow. All right. Anyway. Sorry, I was looking at something else. Commentating is fire. Been watching your vids recently. Pretty sure this is the first, second stream you've been on. Well, welcome. I don't recognize you, so I'm going to say this is... So I know you're relatively new. But welcome to the stream, man. It's good to see you here. We commentate all 32 teams on the channel. So we don't just commentate these teams. I'm pulling up the commentary schedule really quick for all of you guys to see. I might have to go on my phone here real quick and grab them. All right, give me a second. Give me a second. It's taking me forever. Oh, my phone just unplugged. All right. Can you please load? Thank you. Okay. All right. So let me pull up the commentary schedule and we put both of the photos on screen because we actually flowed into two graphics. So here is the commentary schedule for this week. So I'll put the first one up here on the screen. It'll be over on the left side of me, and then I'll put the second one here on the screen. It'll be to the right of me. All right, so this is the commentary schedule for this week. As you can tell, correction on this game. This game starts at 9:30. Islanders Kings starts at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But this is the commentary schedule for this week. Obviously, you see up top. Up top. There we go. You have Maple Leafs, Flyers, Avalanche, Kings. That's tonight. Later on Wednesday. There'll be no commentaries tomorrow. You have Red Wings, Knights, and Blues, Kraken. That'll be the two games on Wednesday. And then Thursday, Blue Jackets, Panthers. And Kings Islanders will be the games on Thursday. So there you go. And then you look ahead to Saturday. There will only be one commentary on Saturday. It's a late night commentary. Kraken and Senators. So the second time we're streaming the Kraken this week. And then down here, Red Wings and Devils on Sunday the 8th. And Golden Knights and Oilers on the 8th as well. So it is a jam-packed night of commentary streams on the channel this week. I could not be more excited. I'm looking forward to commentating a bunch of streams this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, you guys know that I love doing this so much. You know, the numbers and stuff, getting the views and getting the subs is great. But I mainly do it just for providing great commentary. Well, I appreciate that, King. Yeah, trying to do some of the teams we haven't done in a while. Next week, I'll nail out some more teams as well. But this coming week, we got plenty of commentaries. So it'll be a fun couple of days. All right, second period should be coming up here in a little less than 5 minutes or so. So stay tuned here in the commentary. How do I select the games? Sometimes it's my own preference. Sometimes I just look off of the teams that we haven't streamed in a while. It's more of those two things. And then I always try and do 2 every night. That's why sometimes the Central Division teams don't get a ton of streams unless if they're on the road or with certain times. But I'm trying to stream every team evenly. Like, Seattle has 2 commentaries this week. I haven't streamed Seattle since, like, early December. So I got to get the Kraken in there for a commentary. The Red Wings get 2 this week. The Kings get 2 this week. The Golden Knights get 2 this week. Kind of how I divide it up there. But next week, we'll get a few more teams in there as well that we haven't done in a while. Try and split it up a little bit. All right, second period getting ready to get started here in just a few moments. Talking to Denver Barkey here on the broadcast. Local player to Toronto. Pretty cool. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentaries. All right. Almost ready for the second in just a moment. See how the shorts from earlier are doing. Murphy one's doing good. Risto one's starting to get some traction. So somebody called me. Somebody on the Risto video, they said that I look like I'm 20, but they also said I look like a grandpa. And I was like, how is that possible? Unless if I'm 20 in dog years, there's no way that I look like I'm 20, but also a grandpa. It's all of schedule and also trying not to repeat games. I was doing a stream. Yeah, man. I feel like if Jet Greaves turns into a good goalie, the Jackets have a good chance. Yeah, I think Greaves is already becoming that. I also think with Greaves, I've seen some reports that he could make Team Canada in the Olympics in 2030. We're still a ways away from that, but I mean, I'm 19, so like 20 is not a big insult, but it's like, how do I look like I was like, what? I was so weirded out. I was like, how do I look like someone's grandpa? That is so strange. I think Greaves is already on his way there. I've enjoyed Jack Greaves this season. He's a fun goalie to commentate. Hoping for a good game from both these goaltenders, so then that way their save percentages will go up. That's all I think about.
Chevy Equinox and all-electric Equinox EV. It's your choice. Either the adventure-bound, game day ready.
Saw a thing with the USA and Canada had 2 Olympic teams. Jet was on the second Canada team. Yeah. Probably. Could probably make a second Canada team. And they could probably still contend. That's the craziest part. All right, second period coming up in just a moment. My intermission timer's winding down, so I know that means we're getting ready for the start of period number 2. So I'll get ready and put all the stuff there on the screen to get ready for it here in just a moment. Let's get ready for the start of the second period. With that being said, first period recap. Goals were scored by Dakota Joshua and Denver Barkey, making it a 1-1 hockey game after 20 minutes of play. Heading into period number 2. Stats through 20. Shots are 14-7 in favor of Philadelphia. Face-off percentage 62% in favor of the Maple Leafs. Power plays, Flyers 1 for 3. Maple Leafs 0 for 1. Hits were 9-7. Blocked shots were 4-3. Both of those metrics being in favor of the Maple Leafs. And here we go, live back again from Scotiabank Center. We are ready for the start of period number 2, and we are underway. Face-off is won here by the Flyers. Ristolainen picks it up, then down low, back off the boards. Sanheim back to Zegras. Trevor Zegras now moving it through center. Zegras down low in the corner, battling for it then with Stolarz. He kind of knocks down Stoli there a little bit. Stolarz gets up and is okay. Here's Nylander. Now down the right side through center. Shot on Vladar. Denied. Rebounds there for Riley. And it goes wide. Now back to center. Zegras now battling for with Waugh. Nylander trying to get it back. Dumped down low then by Sanheim. Icing here against the Flyers. I'd say Canada would have won if Thompson was in net. I mean, I don't like to play the what-if game. You never know. I mean, I've been very upfront about saying that 3-on-3 should not be in a gold medal game like that, but I'm not going to make up. I mean, again, I'm American, so I'm American, so I'm happy that my American won, but I will agree with the sentiment that 3-on-3 should not be in a game with that much implication. Here's a shot on, denied there by Vladar. Cleared back to center. Philip Myers picks it up then. Also a former Philadelphia Flyer. Now back to Domi. Max Domi comes into the zone. Shoots it off of Vladar. All right, see ya, King. Have a good night, bro. Here's Nyes. Below the line then. Picked up by Tavares. Tavares taken back then by Zegras and thrown to center. Myers. Off the boards now. Carlo banks it down low. Racing for the other way then is Nyes. Nyes banks it down low then for Domi. Domi will throw it up top. McCabe a shot and wide of Vladar. Now below the line here, here's Bobby Brink. Brink to center. Maple Leafs starting to get some shots on Vladar some more. Trying to take it below the line then was Ristolainen. Now a 4-player battle here down low in the corner. Trying to get this 1-3 with 18:30 to go. Off the boards now, Nicholas Waugh will take it through center. He'll flick it past Dvorak. Picked up by York. York off the boards. Turnover in front. And wide on the opportunity was Michelli. And stolen back again. Michelli shoots it wide yet again. And out of play. Shots 14-10. Now in favor of the Flyers. As a costly turnover there. Nearly costly turnover from Cam York. And thankfully Michelli shot it wide. Wasn't one of the best players in the game, thank God. Face-off coming up here now again in the Philadelphia zone. It's one back then down low. Cam York will clear it off the boards back to center. Racing forward with speed then is Barkey. He can't get there in time. Icing with 18:02 to go. Shots 14-10. Giveaways are 8-5 in favor of the Flyers. They've given up the puck numerous times tonight. They've given Toronto numerous 1-0 opportunities. They've either missed the net or Vladar's made the save. Face-off here won by the Maple Leafs. Cleared back down low, puck in the crease, and Vladar will grab it with the glove and force a whistle. Again, as I said in the first period, it does seem like both these teams, their playoff picture seemingly looking bleak. It doesn't seem like the odds are in either of these teams' favors. The Flyers, it's a better chance than Toronto, but it's not a much better chance. They got to win this game and then hope that other teams lose. And the Blue Jackets, who they're chasing, again, up 4-0 on the Rangers, so it's not looking great. Michelli poke check down low into the zone now. Joshua tried to feed it up top. Carlo battling for on the right side with Couturier. Below the line now, Drysdale will grab it. Stolen back by Michelli off a broken stick. Pass in front. And wow, with a shot there, denied by Vladar. Now Michelli up top. Riley a shot blocked. Drysdale off the boards to Grundstrom. Tries to get it to center. Broken up then by Waugh. Down low then for Carlo. Carlo. Pass back to Morgan Riley here below the line. Back over then for Waugh. Carlo. Banked off the boards. Back down low into the Philadelphia zone. Drysdale. Fighting forward now with Michelli. Now Brink. Here on the right side will break this one out through center. Bobby Brink comes in. Intercepted then by Lawton. Banked back into the Philadelphia zone. Flyers attempt to clear. And now they'll regroup down low. Below the line now Michelli. Lawton a shot. And saved by Vladar. Now behind the net then with that puck is Cowan. Lawton gets it back, who has scored against his former team this season prior. Cowan up top, poke checked away. Ekman Larson comes in, fires it, and wide of Vladar and out of play. I think Vladar might have got a piece of that actually. And the Maple Leafs have started off the early pressure here. Shots are 5-0 in favor of Toronto. They have not given the Flyers anything here in this second period so far. Dan Vladar has been sharp to start this one off. And a good pad, good blocker stop there. Face off here now in the Philadelphia zone, won by the Flyers. Now Tippett will get it to center. Dvorak with Zegras. Dvorak fires it into the zone. Zegras now battling forward with Jake McCabe. Below the line, Benoit trying to pick it up. Dvorak's on the ground on top of the puck. Can't get up. Now Tippett gets it back then for Philadelphia. Owen Tippett below the line. Drop back to Zegras. Zegras shoots it into the chest of Stolarz. And he'll hang on. That is the first shot for the Flyers here in this second period. I literally pressed pause on the timer, but nah, it's fine. Showing off William Nylander, 43 games played this year, 55 points. He is up there in terms of multi-point games in Watch with Nordic history. He is currently tied for second with the most multi-point games in Watch with Nordic history. 28 points in 24 games against the Flyers, William Nylander. Now he has the puck down low, breaking it out of the zone. Through to center. Backhanded into the Philadelphia end. Nylander grabs it in the corner, battling forward with Ristolainen. Now Matthews below the line. Taken back then by Sanheim. Sanheim off the boards. Michkov thrown to center. Matthews takes it back. Nylander comes in, shoots it, and out of play. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Still a 1-1 hockey game here. We are relatively even in terms of the shooting department and the goals themselves, of course. Toronto has control of most of the underlying numbers. So that is a notable factor in this one as well. Face-off coming up here now in the Philadelphia zone. Couturier taking the draw now against Tavares. Face-off is blown dead as violation there. They'll throw Couturier out. Now Grundstrom comes in. They'll try again. Now they'll kick Tavares out. Now Domi will come in. Attempt number 3 is a success. Face-off won by the Leafs. Tavares up top. Shot goes off of Vladar and wide. Now bank back to the right side now. It's Andre. Below the line now battling for with Domi. Andre battling for now in the corner as well with Max Domi. Andre picks it up. Banked off the boards and back to center. Carlo on the right side will regroup now down low. Riley stolen back then by Hathaway. Hathaway battling for with Tavares. Tavares now below the line. Bank to center. Now Carlo will take it back the other way. Here's Domi now through center. Max Domi will flick that one into the Philadelphia zone. In the corner here now, Domi battling for it. And a huge collision there by 2 Maple Leaf players. Sends a 3-on-2 the other way. Here's Grundstrom with Delorier. Grundstrom shoots it on, saved by Stolars. He will cover. And a friendly fire on the ice between, I think that was Nyes and Domi. Domi with a smile on his face, kind of just laughing it off. Not often you see that. 14:44 left to go in period number 2. 1-1 hockey game. And a nice little body check there by Nyes on his own teammate. And Domi just got up with a smile on his face. He's like, what the hell just happened? Nyes probably apologizing. Domi will probably have to buy him something after the game. Preferably a beer. Go Habs, go. Face off one here by the Flyers. Tip it. Almost said by the Habs. Tip it off the boards, then back over. Stolen back by Nylander. Nylander to McCabe. McCabe cross-ice pass broken up by Zegras. Trevor Zegras cross-ice pass. Dvorak comes in. He gets knocked down. Now Tippett takes it back. Over to Matthews. Here's a 2-on-2 the other way. McMahon with Benoit. Coming in Nylander as well. Nylander moves in. Waits. Pass up top. Matthews waits. Fires it off of Vladar and back behind the net. I'm not even sure that got on. Here's York. Played to center. Tippett trying to get it through his legs. Now Myers will pick it up. Over then for Matthews. Matthews, cross-ice pass to Ekman-Larsson. OEL off the boards and chip back down low then into the Philadelphia zone. With 13:50 to go. Here's Michkov through center. Dekes in. Can't get to in time. OEL falls on his feet. Below the line, Ekman-Larsson. Around the right side to Myers. Philip Myers now down low. Pass up ahead then for Ekman-Larsson. Through center. Michelli back to OEL who will dump it down low. Michelli trying to get on the right side. Joshua up top. Carlo trying to break that one in. Will clear it around behind the net. Now Waugh. Below the line then for Michelli. Back to Waugh. Nick Waugh down low battling for it. Joshua will steal a loose puck. Clears it behind the Philadelphia net. Michkov tried getting to it there. It's cleared all the way back up top. Riley at the point. Back to Michelli. Stolen back up top. Brink tried to poke check it away. Now Waugh in front. Michelli. Wraparound chance. Goes back down low to the corner. Now Waugh gets it back to Michelli. Poke check down low. Ristolainen into Michkov. Michkov. Cross ice pass all the way back into the Toronto zone for an icing with 12:42 to go. Not enough for a commercial break. Shot 16-13. Plenty of back and forth here in this one. It's just been all over. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. We are currently at 24 likes. That's awesome. Thank you all so much for your continued support. Face-off here in the Philadelphia zone, won by the Flyers. Michkov will flick it to center. Toronto will get it back and regroup. McCabe off the boards, back over then for Lawn. Lawn to Cowan. Cowan up top. Waugh, poke check to center. Now McCabe will pick it up here for the Leafs. Nylander will dump it down low. Vladar out of his own net will give it up then for Ristolainen. Ristolainen here through center. Pass up then to Couturier, who will dump it down low into the Toronto zone. Grabankin to Couturier. Shot off the boards then, stolen back by the Leafs. Michelli now ahead then 3-on-2. Lorentz with Michelli. Pass over. Shot wide of Vladar. Now Couturier will flick this one to center. Stolen back by the Leafs, who are just coming at the Flyers in waves, it seems like. Not a lot of opportunities on the other end for Philadelphia. Puck is banked to center. Grabankin will dump it down low to the Toronto zone. Myers off the boards then down low for Riley. Riley, cross-ice pass. It's tipped off a Domi stick. And out of play with 11:34 to go. Still tied at 1 here in period number 2. Oh my goodness. So don't forget, later on tonight we'll be live for Avalanche and Kings. That'll be the later game on our commentary schedule. Thank you all for tuning in. I very much so greatly appreciate it. Like the stream, subscribe down below if you're new. Face-off coming up here. It'll be outside of the Toronto zone. Two young rookies facing off here as they spent 4 years together in London with the London Knights. Easton Cowan and Denver Barkey both put up phenomenal numbers. 52 and 53, ironically enough. Those two guys know each other pretty darn well. Face-off here outside of the Toronto zone is won by the Flyers. Held now below the line. Ristolainen will dump it down low. 11 and a half minutes to go. Grundstrom fighting with Ekman-Larsson. Grundstrom now down low. It's thrown back up then to Tavares. 3-on-2. Domi down the right side. Pass down low. Puck will bank back into the Philadelphia end. Tavares over then for Nyes. Back to Domi. Domi, cross-ice pass. Grundstrom to Delorier. Delorier now through center. Delorier battling for with Myers. Banked around now into the corner. Domi, try to throw it to center. Nice. Loops it back around down low for Ekman-Larsson. Shots are 17-13 in favor of the Flyers. Here's Phil Myers now through center off the boards. Taken back then by York. To center now, McCabe to Nylander. Nylander to Matthews. Matthews comes in, shoots it off of Vladar and back into the corner. Toronto trying to pressure. We're approaching the halfway mark of the game and the period. Flyers and Leafs are tied at 1. Drysdale battling for now with Zegras. Off the boards to McCabe. Now McMahon up top. Benoit looking for options. Clears it down low to the corner. Now Tippett. Stolen back then by the Maple Leafs and cleared down low. Here's Owen Tippett. 3-on-3. Zegras dropped it back. Tippett shoots it and blocked in front. Now grabbing it then is Austin Matthews. Matthews circles around. Cross ice pass. Michelli. Pass up top. Waugh shot. Fans on it. Flyers will get it back. Here's Andre now regrouping with it. Emil Andre will bank it all the way back to center. Now Bobby Brink comes into the zone. Try to get a shot on there. Denied by Stolarz. Shot 17-14 here midway through the second. Sealer shoots it off of Waugh and down low to the corner. Grabbed again then by Brink. Brink below the line. Feeds it up top. Shot on by Andre. Denied. Rebounds there. Backhand by Brink. Goes wide. He had a wide open net, but couldn't get it on. And there's some real chances there for the Flyers that could not convert. It's Michelli a drive. And that one goes wide of Vladar. Thrown to center, Michkov. Backhands it down low, then into the Philadelphia zone. Sealer will backhand this one to center. Brink will flick it down low, then into the Toronto zone. Ekman Larson to Myers. Myers to center. Dump back into the Philadelphia zone. Now Ristolainen. Banks it off the boards. Here's Couturier. Drops it back then for Gerbankin. Gerbankin comes in with speed. Backhand on, denied. Rebounds there. Pass in front. And try to get it there on Stolarz. Here's Lawton. Back then down low now. Toronto will regroup in their own zone. Shots are 18-14 in favor of the Flyers with 8 minutes to go in the second. Shot on by Lawton. Denied by Vladar. Michelli. Trying to grab that one in the corner. It's picked up then by Ristolainen now below the line. Risto. Bank to center. Gerbankin now will flick it down low then into the Toronto zone. Stolarz to Benoit. Delorier with a big hit down low there on him. Now Hathaway here as this fourth line tries the pressure. Tavares now on the right side. Will backhand it to center. Now Cam York picks it up. Cleared back down low then again into the Toronto zone. Turnover in front. Shot denied by Stolarz. And I couldn't even see from my angle. It showed the down low angle. And a good chance in front there, but I think it was Nick Delorier. And Anthony Stolarz makes the save. Plenty of pressure from both sides here tonight. Shots 19-15. It is still a 1-1 hockey game here from Toronto. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. So thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement. Brings more people into the wonderful commentary. We're now at 24 likes. That's great to see. Take a look at the goaltender stats here so far through this second period. We'll start off on the Philadelphia side. Dan Vladar, 14 saves on 15 shots, .933. Anthony Stolarz, 18 saves on 19 shots, .947. Still tied at 1. So again, later on tonight we'll be live for Avalanche and Kings. That'll be the later game on our batch of commentary streams, so look forward to that one. Hopefully that's a good game as well. But this one's been good so far also. I've had a good time with this one too. And I appreciate everybody's support.
Hitting for his first goal since last April.
7:14 left to go in the second period. Face-off in the Toronto zone. It is won by the Leafs. Matthews down low to Ekman-Larsson. OEL off the boards to center. Flyers trying to keep it in. Zegras trying to deke around Ekman-Larsson. Taken back then by Matthews. Matthews for McMahon. McMahon now will skate it around up top. Zegras takes it back. A 3-on-2 developing. Zegras back over to Tippett. Tippett to Zegras down low. Trying to feed a pass up. It was blocked by McCabe. Matthews steals it back then for the Leafs. Ekman-Larsson will hover down low and throw it to center. McMahon is right there. He'll dump it down low then into the Philadelphia zone. Nylander off the boards for Matthews. Matthews below the line. Dvorak knocked down into the corner. Cleared back around then down low. McCabe to Ristolainen. Below the line, Matthews over then for Risto. Rasmus Ristolainen now battling forward here, down low. And puck is dumped all the way back again, then into the Maple Leafs zone. Riley will pick it up. 6 minutes to go in the second. Morgan Riley back up then for Tavares. Tavares will now regroup here in his own zone. Tavares back to Carlo. To Nice. Back to Tavares through center. Picked up then by Domi. Domi, pass over, broken up by Nice. Below the line, Domi. Battling for now with York. Pass in front, shot there by Nice, goes wide. A lot of missed opportunities here. Here's Tavares. Tried to slide it in front. Puck went through the crease of Vladar. Shot on, denied. Now York trying to get it out. Maple Leafs still pressuring. Domi up top. Ekman-Larsson denied by Vladar in front. Now Cates off the boards will flip it to center. Icing. With 5:14 to go. And my correction, shots are actually 18 to 15. Not sure what opportunities counted there on that sequence for the Leafs, if any of those shots even got on. Face-off now won by the Leafs. Nylander down low, shoots it on, saved by Vladar if that got on. Now battling for it down low in the corner. Approaching the final 5 minutes of this second period. Nylander fighting for it then in the corner with Drysdale. Bank back up top now, McMahon to Matthews. Matthews at the point, then Ekman-Larsson clears it down low. Nylander trying to grab it in the corner, fighting for it with Cates. Cates back to York. Through center now with speed is Brink. Backhanding it down low into the Toronto zone. McMahon dumps to center. Andre back down low now. Leafs get it back. Ekman-Larsson will hold it here now below the line. Up ahead then for Waugh. Nick Waugh will break this one through center. Dumping it down low into the Philadelphia zone. Andre in the corner now battling forward with Joshua. Joshua and Gerbanke going at it now. Below the line, Michelli. Thrown ahead then for Barkey. Here's a 2-on-2 break. Barkey tried to flip it to Couturier. Couldn't get it directly on his stick. Now down low, Benoit trying to pick it up. Couturier there battling forward as well. Scramble forward here in the corner. Benoit throws it behind the net then for McCabe. McCabe to Waugh. 2-on-3 the other way. Waugh will just dump it down low. Probably the right play. Puck is cleared to center. Morgan Riley will backhand it down low then into the Philadelphia zone. It's picked up quickly by Sanheim. 3.5 minutes to play here in period number 2. Still a tied hockey game. No goals in this second so far. Puck is dumped down low then into the Maple Leaf zone. Lawton below the line. Back down low then for Carlo. Carlo Banked off the boards. Riley ahead now through center. Cross ice pass. Broken up then by the Flyers. Now York will throw it ahead then for Delorier. Delorier battling for now Lon. Grundstrom racing forward. It's picked up by Lorentz now behind the net. Steve Lorentz now below the line. Stolen back then by the Flyers. Grundstrom down low. Hit by Cowan. Cowan backhanded to center. Here's Lorentz for Riley. Riley will dump it down low then into the Toronto zone. Now York battling forward with Lorentz. Drysdale will flip it to center. Grabbed by Ekman-Larsson through center now. It's picked up by Nyes. Nyes up top. Fires it around the boards behind the net then. Tavares over for Domi. Pass in front. And a chance there for Nyes. Could not convert. Now Ekman-Larsson below the Nyes. 2:15 left to go. Nyes. Back down low. Tavares thrown to center. Delorier will flip this one ahead. Puck will go all the way back into the Toronto zone. Ekman-Larsson will hold it here now. In the final 2 minutes of play, puck slides into the Philadelphia zone for an icing with 1:59 to go. The closest game that the Maple Leafs have played since coming back from the Olympic break. As I mentioned, they are 0 for 3 since coming back from the Olympics. Struggling in losses to Florida, Tampa Bay, and Ottawa. Face off here in the Toronto zone. Once again, Ekman-Larsson picks it up then for the Leafs. Puck is cleared all the way back to center. Grabbing it then is Sanheim off the boards and down low now Nyes. Fighting forward with Tippett. Ristolainen trying to get there too. Now Sanheim off the boards to Risto. Risto will flip it to center. Puck will slide through Carlos Skates. Now Dvorak fighting forward in the corner. Riley will clear it off the boards. Tippett now down low to Zegras. Up in front. Tippett a shot. Blocked. Broken stick for Matthews. 1:25 to go in this second period. Shots are 18-17. A very even game here. Here's McMahon. Thrown in front. Saved by Vladar. He will cover. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Shots are dead even here in this second period. And we are still tied at 1. So subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement. Brings more people into the wonderful commentary stream. We got 60 people here in the commentary. That's awesome. I appreciate those of you who are here tuning in. It means the world to me. I have so much fun doing these commentaries. We've done over 100 of them. We're coming up on 200 very soon. We'll do some special stuff for the 200th stream for sure. Maybe we'll do a bunch of unbox with Nordics. That'd be pretty nice. So tied 1-1. Shots are 18 apiece. Both goaltenders have made the same amount of saves. They've allowed the same amount of goals. It's been a very interesting game from that perspective, for sure. And I've enjoyed it. It's been a fun one. I appreciate those who are in here in the commentary. It means a lot to me. All right, back here from commercial break. 1:13 to go. It's been a lot of back and forth. The Maple Leafs, I do feel like they've controlled this period a lot better. Shots are 11-4 in favor of the Leafs. So the shooting department looks very even, but Toronto has heavily outshot the Flyers in this second period. Take a look at active playoff streaks. The Maple Leafs have the longest active streak, and it's currently in jeopardy. If the Maple Leafs cannot find their way into a playoff spot, they will now lose that factor. They were coming up in their 10th season. Here's Craig Berube on the bench, former Philadelphia Flyer. Second season as Toronto's head coach. I think he probably, sadly ends up on his way out eventually. Puck is dumped down low, then into the Philadelphia zone. McMahon battling for Ristolainen. Approaching the final minute of play here in period number 2. Ristolainen battling forward now with McMahon. Couturier back up then through the neutral zone. Cates will flick it to center. Damn, that's good, Sharky. Keep on grinding, bro. Keep putting the work in. Puck is dumped down low into the Philadelphia zone. Ristolainen now behind the net. Rasmus Ristolainen down low then for Sanheim. Sanheim flicked it through center back into the Toronto zone. It's grabbed by Benoit. 30 seconds remaining. McCabe back to Benoit. Benoit to McCabe now below the line. Toronto will hold it here with 20 seconds to go on the clock. One last break here for the Leafs. McCabe stolen back then by Tippett. Tippett to Zegras. 10 seconds left. Cleared back down low. McCabe. Cross-ice pass to Tavares. Broken up through the Philadelphia defense. Couturier. Back up to Tippett. One last break. 2 seconds left. Can't get to center. And that'll do it. The buzzer will blow. Some pushing and shoving. There hasn't been a ton of that here in this game. But we are through 40 minutes of hockey here tonight. And neither team were able to light the lamp in that second period. We are still tied heading into the third and final period right after this. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We'll be back for the start of the third period momentarily. This is the countdown to the third. Not really much for me to do. Kind of just get a moment to take a chill pill here in light of there not being any goals in that second period, and we can get ready for the third. But thank you all for tuning in. We got 60 people here in the commentary watching the stream. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. It means a lot for all of you being in here. Hope you will all stick around for the third. I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. Those who are longtime watchers, you'll know that I use the bathroom a lot when I drink a lot of water during these commentaries, so that's something I tend to do. So I'll be right back in a second. You guys like my PJs?
The local kids go pro in Philly. It's a reflection of us all. Youth coaches, family, and the hometown health insurance covers them. Independence Blue Cross has had Quinn and Calvin Sullivan's back since day one because we take care of our own.
Safe Flight Repair, Safe Flight Replace.
That's right. At least with Safe Flight, you can get that fixed any way you want. Any way I want.
Any way you want, it's the way you need it, any way you want.
Schedule a chip fix while I get my hair clipped. Yeah, they can fix my glass while we fish for bass. If you want, they can recalibrate my safety features while I sit at home in my comfy pants. Those are wrong, but sure.
Get it fixed any way you want at SafeFlight.com. Safe Flight Repair, Safe Flight Replace.
Alrighty, I have returned. Sorry about that, guys. Had to use the bathroom super quick. Letting time run down here in this second intermission, getting ready for the third. I appreciate all of your support here on the channel. It means the world.
Change happens fast. Lock in your internet price for 5 years and get online in no time with same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Go ahead. Crank the volume. We got you. USPS has increased daily package processing capacity by 46% in the past 5 years. And with USPS Route Advantage, our packages
All right.
door-to-door nationwide.
But up, 31 likes on the commentary. That's awesome. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We are about to cross over the 2,000 view mark here on this commentary stream once again. Thank you all so much for your continued support. We've had some great commentaries here on the channel as of late, and a lot of ones that have garnered a lot of recognition. What was once the uncommon is now becoming the common. It's pretty cool to see. Let's go over the, I'll wait a little bit longer. Still got 13 minutes to go. I'll wait till the 8-minute mark to go over the other games around the NHL. Give us some time. But if you have anything you guys want to discuss, in the comment section down below, feel free to drop them down below. We are moving here on the channel. I have so many content ideas that I want to make and videos that need to come out on the channel that I don't know if I'll even have time for half of the ideas until the trade deadline. It's just so much stuff I want to do.
I guess, but a regular thing. Yeah, no doubt. And even after he saves it, he's just trying to find that puck where it is he wants to be in position. And this one, this guy is one of the best snipers in the NHL. Austin Matthews coming there, finding him up, falls down there on his behind there as well too. But you can see he's always locked in, his focus, everything, and he's been a fire trash player almost all year, especially tonight. Yeah, and that sequence, come out to the play, go back to the blue paint, and then dive over. So it's all there.
It's almost like he's an early follow-up in saves so far tonight. 17 saves in this game. A tie game after 2 periods of play.
Yep, just crossed over the 2,000 view mark. Thank you all so much. We'll just kind of hang out here for a couple minutes. Take a breather. Not a lot of whistles in that second period. Should be a close third. I like that. I like that it'll be a close third. It's exactly what I want. I don't know if anybody else is live for this game either. Doesn't look like it. A lot of Flyers Cup commentaries. MLB this week. Baseball Classic is tomorrow, I believe, right? World Baseball Classic starts tomorrow. I got to see what is on. What it is on. Let's see what games are on tomorrow. Maybe I'll tune in. Ooh, they have the Phillies top 30 prospects. Oh, yes. Bet, let's go over it. All right. Top 30 prospects for the Phillies. See how mad I get. If anybody's a Flyers fan in here. All right. Aiden Miller, Andrew Painter, Justin Crawford, Gage Wood, Francisco Renteria. Haven't heard of him, actually. Aaron Escobar will be at the R-Phils this year. Felix Reyes still can't make the list. This is tough. Carson DeMartini, he had a home run in spring training. Phillies play tomorrow? I think the Phillies play Canada tomorrow, do they? They did not play today. They play tomorrow. Play the Rays. Then they play Canada. They play Canada on Wednesday. Second time watching, great commentary. Thank you, Goopter Goose. I appreciate it. Doing the best I can with all of you wonderful people here in the commentary.
Team Toyota, your winter driving headquarters. Stay cozy and shop online at teamtoyota.net.
New Blue Buffalo Love Made Fresh. Superior nutrition you trust. Made the way Chuck loves it. With freedom to mix fresh and dry. It's our natural ingredients. Served fresh. New from Blue Buffalo. It's love made fresh.
Underneath the tie game here in Toronto after 2 periods of play. We talked about Dan Bedard once again. Speaking of Flyers in this game, he has been near perfect so far in Toronto. Nick Loray with a pretty good usage, but overall not a ton of offense to speak of in the second period.
Yeah, when your best chance is by your fourth line with like 3 minutes to go, 7 minutes to go in the game here, just not great, right? That halfway gets on the forecheck, Benoit turns it over, and almost squeezed in 5 from there.
Yeah, there's been some pretty major turnovers in this game. I mean, those take chances. The goalie's been very good here. This is a bad turnover. Delory, I guess, it just fires it right.
All right.
Looks like you might get through there, but Delory.
All right, so we're at the 8-minute mark, as I promised. Let's take a look at the other games around the NHL. Again, there's only 5 games going on. Most of them are actually later tonight. There's only 2 games that are going on currently. And when you look at those 2 games, pull up the schedule here quickly. It is only this one and Rangers and Blue Jackets. That game is currently, I think the Blue Jackets, last I checked, were leading 4-0. Now it's 4-2. So the Rangers are actually making a bit of a comeback in that one. So goals in that game have been scored by Fantilli, Marchenko, Monahan, Olivier, and then Gavrikov and Perrault. Both scored under a minute in to make it a 4-2 hockey game. We'll see if anything more changes with that one. But right now, the Blue Jackets leading the Rangers 4-2. Later on tonight, Stars and Canucks. That'll be a good game. Stars looking to move further up in the Central Division. Hurricanes and Kraken. Hurricanes beginning their their Western Canada road trip. Avalanche and Kings at 10:30 Eastern time. We'll be live for that game as well. And then Red Wings and Predators was earlier today. I keep forgetting about that. That was at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It was a 4-2 win for the Red Wings. The goals were scored by Emmett Finney, Philip Forsberg, Jonathan Marchessault, Lucas Raymond, Albert Johansson, and Alex DeBrincat. And that was a 4-2 win for the Detroit Red Wings. So that's pretty nifty. There are 11 games tomorrow, including 5 7 p.m. start times, a couple of 9 o'clocks, handful of 9:30s as well, and then 2 10 o'clock start times. Sadly, won't be live tomorrow. We'll be live on Wednesday and Thursday. And then Saturday will be live as well. And Sunday. Monday, that following week on Monday, March 9th, I don't know for sure if I'll be live yet that day. It is my sister's birthday. If we are to be live, I'm looking at the schedule. I don't know what game I'd go with here, honestly. Probably Flyers. We'll try Flyers Rangers again. Oh, we're doing Mammoth Blackhawks possibly. I don't know. Just looking at the schedule.
The Freestyle Libre 3+ sensor tracks your glucose in real time, and over time, it can help lower your A1C. This is progress. Learn more and try for free at Freestyle Libre.
I don't know. Just looking at the schedule. Trying to plan what I stream next week. Red Wings Lightning sounds good. Ducks Maple Leafs. Sharks Bruins could do good. I could stream Friday.
Trevor Zegras, thoughts on the return after 2 periods playing with those guys and the challenge for you getting 2 new line mates in this game?
Yeah, just trying to keep it simple. Obviously, they're great at supporting and making it easy. So, played a little bit with them earlier in the year, so just trying to get back to that.
Know the importance of this game against Toronto and where we are in the season. Just what do you guys have to do in this final 20 to get out of here with an important 2 points?
Yeah, every game left's a big opportunity for us. We need to grab as many points as we can. So I think just stick to the basics.
Let's go Flyers. Love to hear that, Larry. Thank you for being in the stream, bro. It is good to see you here. Yeah, I'm looking at the schedule over the next few weeks. I love to do this just for fun to see what games I can commentate. All right. All right, back for the third period in about 3 minutes or so. So stick around, guys. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Haven't been able to post the commentary short yet. Hopefully, this third period will provide me with a good commentary call and a good goal. Maybe we get overtime. Who knows? It's been a while for an NHL commentary to get overtime. Had a couple Olympic streams, but it's been a while. I'm going to exit out of the stream, go back in. Super duper quick. Don't forget, coming up later tonight, Avalanche and Kings is the 10:30 commentary here on the channel. Coverage will resume shortly. All right, there we go. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. 35 likes on the commentary. That is awesome. As we wind down the minutes here for an electric third period. Or at least that's what we hope. Coming up here in a moment.
New Blue Buffalo Love Made Fresh. The superior nutrition you trust, made the way Darla loves it, with freedom to mix fresh and dry. It's our natural ingredients, served fresh. New from Blue Buffalo. It's love, made fresh.
Alrighty, let's get ready for the start of the third period here between the Philadelphia Flyers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Second period recap, no goals in that middle frame as we get ready for the start of the third. Coming up in just a moment, your stats through 40. Shots are 18 apiece. We're dead even in terms of the shooting department. Face-off percentage, 59%. In favor of the Maple Leafs. Power plays are the same as they were after the first. Flyers are 1 for 3. Maple Leafs are 0 for 1. Hits in this game, 18-11 in favor of Toronto. Block shots are 10-9 in favor of Toronto as well as we get ready for the third period. For either side, these points don't mean a ton. Oh my God, the Rangers tied it. They came back from down 4-0. They tied the game. No way. Anywho, these 2 points for either side. Toronto, they could take it or leave it. The Flyers, they're trying to make a late push. They could get in here. We'll see. And here we go. Let's get ready for the start of period number 3 here from Scotiabank Arena. The third and final frame between the Philadelphia Flyers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. And we are underway. Face-off is won here, back by the Flyers. Sanheim off the boards to Zegras. Huge hit at center as Carlo comes in there and levels Zegras. Now Nylander trying to get sent on a break the other way. Puck is dumped back down low then to the Philadelphia zone. Flyers were outshot 11-5 in that second period. Puck is dumped down low then into the Philadelphia zone. Zegras picks it up. McMahon up top. Down low, Zegras. Back to Tippett. Tippett to Dvorak. Pass over, broken up. And now Matthews set ahead now to Nylander. Nylander comes into the zone. He's interfered with. Penalty against the Flyers. And it's going to be Rasmus Ristolainen who takes the penalty. And the Maple Leafs early in this third period will head to the man advantage. Rick Tocchet shakes his head. And the Flyers have a chance. The Maple Leafs have a chance to take the lead. Maple Leafs are 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. They haven't even gotten a full power play here in this one, as their previous power play came off of a 4-on-4. Face-off. Won by the Leafs, shot on, denied by Vladar. Here's Couturier now breaking his shorthanded. Couturier comes in, shoots it wide of Stolarz. Grabbing it now on the right side is Nylander. Nylander below the line then to Morgan Rielly. Morgan Rielly now will break this one through center. He'll drop it back for Nylander. Nylander here now through center off the boards to Tavares. Tavares drops it back. Cleared down low. Matthews. Back to Nyes, backhanded down low. It's stolen back then by Philadelphia. Couturier will just dump it into the Toronto zone. Shots 19-18 in favor of the Leafs. Tavares will drop it back to Matthews. Matthews over then to Nylander. Nylander through center to Tavares. Cross-ice pass broken up by Philadelphia. Sanheim steals it and dumps it the other way. And that's a great job here by the Flyers in the halfway mark. They shut down the top unit. Now comes out the second unit. Here's Ekman-Larsson. Thrown back then to Michelli. Michelli to Cowan. Cowan battling forward with Cates. Cates off the boards to center. And dumped all the way back into the Toronto zone. Leafs power play, 21st in the NHL. There's a turnover. Shot on off the post for Noah Cates, who nearly took the lead, and the Flyers still regrouping with the puck shorthanded. Sanheim will just dump it back into the Toronto zone. Grabbing it behind the net then is Michelli. Matias Michelli now will move it through center, back off the boards for Cowan. Cowan, below the line. Tried throwing it up top. He's battling with it now with Dvorak. Banked off the boards up top. Cross-ice pass, Domi. Looks at the point. McMahon a shot. And that one is cleared to center. Penalty is over. Great kill by the Flyers. Only one shot allowed. And they kept it mostly in the Toronto zone during that whole sequence. Here's McCabe off the boards to Nylander. Racing for it then is Andre. Andre off the boards. Michkov battling for it down low with Cates. Joshua trying to battle for it here in the corner. Now Cates picks it up. Stolen back by Waugh, feeds it in the corner. William Nylander now below the line. Nylander trying to break it through center. Stolen back then by Brink. Bobby Brink will dump it down low then into the Maple Leafs zone. Stolarz out of his own net to play it. Down low now McCabe battling for with Benoit. Benoit cleared to center. It's chipped into the Philadelphia end. Vladar back down low for Ristolainen. Ristolainen now cleared to center. 4-on-4 now as a breakaway into the Toronto zone. Ristolainen a shot denied there by Stolarz. Joshua battling for it now with Zegras. Lawton trying to break it free now. 4 minutes gone in this third period. Shots are dead even. Up top, Sanheim comes in. Slap shot! And denied by Stolarz. Zegras celebrated, but nobody else did. Stolarz keeps it in his pads with 15:52 to go. Maple Leafs are a joke. They will never win any cup. Yeah, not a great game. I mean, Toronto's played better. This is probably the best game Toronto's played since coming back from the Olympic break. But, I mean, if you want to look at the grand scheme of things, a vastly disappointing season from the Maple Leafs for sure. Face off at the point now. Clear down low into the Toronto zone. A lot of post hits for the Flyers in this sequence. Here's Lawton. Dumping it down low now into the Philadelphia zone. Scott Lawton now behind the net. Couturier off the boards to Gurbankin. Gurbankin now cleared back into the Toronto zone. Stolen back by Nyes. Nyes cross ice pass to Lorentz. Lorentz will dump it down low here into the Philadelphia zone. Andre gets it back. Off the boards for Couturier. Couturier and dump down low then into the Toronto zone yet again. Benoit off the boards back into the Philadelphia zone yet again. Another icing against the Leafs. Go Red Wings. Love to hear that. We'll be live for 2 Red Wings streams this week. 15:12 left on the clock. Make sure my clock is accurate. Flyers have not allowed a power play goal in 8 straight games. Second longest streak in franchise history. It's pretty cool. Face-off won by the Leafs down low now. Bobby McMahon will throw this one to center. Nylander will chip this one down low to the Philadelphia zone. Now Sanheim battling for now with McMahon. In the corner, Matthews there as well. Grundstrom battling for it in the corner as well. Matthews knocked down to the ground by Sanheim. Picked up down low by Grundstrom. Ristolainen will throw it to center. Benoit cleared into the zone quickly by Carlo. Grabbing it then is Risto. Only 1 shot per team here in this third period. Vladar holds the puck down low. Will give it to Ristolainen. Philadelphia trying to break out in their own zone. Risto bank back down low into the Toronto end. Around to the right side. Cates battling forward with Michelli. Below the line, cleared to center. Joshua will get it ahead. Now York picks it up. Stolen back by Michelli. Picked back up then by Cates, who will clear it down low into the Toronto zone. Grabbing it then. Stolarz will throw it around up top. Shot! Saved by Stolarz. Rebound was there. And it slides all the way back to center. Dump back down low into the Toronto zone. Shots now 20-19 in favor of Philadelphia. Here's Waugh through center. Nick Waugh dekes around, loses the puck, takes it around then behind the net. Grabbed back by the Flyers. Trevor Zegras through center, back off the boards to Dvorak. Puck will slide into the Toronto zone for an icing with 13:33 remaining on the clock. Still a 1-1 hockey game here from Toronto. Thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement, brings more people into the wonderful commentary. We will be live later tonight for the Los Angeles Kings and the Colorado Avalanche. DJ Smith's LA Kings head coaching debut. That'll be interesting. Face off in the Philadelphia zone. It's won by the Flyers. Emil Andre dumps it around behind the net. Then Trevor Zegras will break it through center. He'll backhand that one down low to the Toronto end. Now it's Riley off the boards. Below the line, try to clear it to center. Nice. To Ekman Larson. Bank back down low, then into the Philadelphia zone. Ristolainen fighting for it now with Domi. Ristolainen will break it out through center. Risto off the boards. Pass ahead to Tippett. Tippett trying to loop around. Stolen back then by the Leafs. Here's Domi breaking through center. Shot on goes up of Stolarz. And out of play. A little bit delayed, I apologize. 12:58 to go in the third. Flyers and Leafs tied at 1. Leafs will take the lead. We'll see We shall see. Shots are dead even. Big 2 points here for the Philadelphia Flyers if they can get it across. Have a great night going to sleep now. See you, Wayne. Have a good one, bro. Then blow it and lose the game. Huh. Thank you, Wayne. USA Olympic hat. Bought it after they won the gold medal. I think it's actually a pretty cool hat. I've always been wanting to get a United States hat. Glad that I got the opportunity to. I want to get a Canada one too, even though I am American. But we are fair to everybody here, so it would make sense. I get like Sweden and like Finland hats too to wear also. But Canada may be the next one that I go out and acquire. Tied 1-1 here in the third period. Back from commercial break. 12:58 left to go in period number 3. Who's going to score the game-deciding goal? It really does feel like it's a next goal wins kind of game here. Showing off Denver Barkey. Rookie tonight for the Flyers, has been active out there on the ice. It would not shock me in the slightest if we see him get on the board here. He is a former London Knight. He's from Toronto. All right, see you, Sharky. Have a good one. Denver Barkey also with an assist tonight. Face-off here now in the Philadelphia zone. It'll be Matthews versus Coots. Sanheim. Off the boards, McMahon. Up top, Riley. Back to McMahon. Shot on goes wide of Vladar. Ekman Larson will dump it around behind the net then. Now McMahon will pick it up in the corner. Bobby McMahon. Battling forward with Barkey. Ristolainen will grab it now below the line. Rasmus Ristolainen will get it through center and backhand it to the neutral zone. Now Risto battling forward with McMahon on the right side. Played back down low. Riley for Ekman Larson. Back to Riley. Morgan Riley now off the boards to Nylander. William Nylander. Stolen back by Matthews. Here's Austin Matthews to McMahon. McMahon will dump it into the Philadelphia zone. Zegras to Dvorak. Dvorak will carry it ahead and clear it down low into the Toronto end with 12 minutes to go here in period number 3. Still a tied hockey game here. McCabe, stolen back by the Flyers. Benoit gets it right back as soon as I say that. Leafs will regroup in their own end. It's a matter of who makes the first mistake. Here's Tippett. Loops it around to Zegras up top. York. Down low to Drysdale. Below the line. Pass in front. And it comes out then for Lorentz. Lorentz back to Lawton. Lawton banked off for Zegras. Then Lawton will come back to his own zone and regroup. Scott Lawton back down low. McCabe to Lorentz. Steve Lorentz through center. He's knocked back down low behind the net. Then Andre gets it back for the Flyers. He'll dump that one to center. Ekman Larson. Back over then on the right side and cleared back down low into the zone. Jackets won. They almost blew it, bro. Here's OEL down low now for Waugh. Nicholas Waugh now as we approach the halfway mark of this third period. And tried to send Mitchkov on a breakaway down low in the defensive zone. He was beaten to there by Myers. Now OEL. Cleared to center. Michelli. Back up then for Waugh. Nick Waugh into the zone. Poke check by Grunstrom. Grabbed then by York. Here's Bobby Brake now through the zone. Delorier will clear it down low. Now Riley battling forward. It's stolen back by the Leafs to center. Shots have been even in this period, 2 apiece. A lot of back and forth hockey. Morgan Rielly gets it back. He'll clear it to center. Flick back down low, then into the Philadelphia zone. Hathaway, poke check down low by Tavares. Tavares denies. Down low now, Andre battling for it. Domi gets it back. Tavares battling on the right side with Hathaway. Grundstrom back up then for Drysdale. Drysdale now jabbing at that puck. Collision at center between 2 Flyers players. Now grabbed down low then by Philadelphia yet again. Delorier carries it through center. Will dump it down low to Toronto zone. Off the boards, here's Domi. With 9:30 to go, Domi comes in, looks, shoots it wide. Now McCabe down low here for Ristolainen. Grabbed then by Sanheim. Off the boards through center. Barkey will lose the puck a little bit. Played up top. Sanheim. Poke check by Benoit. Sanheim gets it back below the line. Down low now. Couturier for Gurbankin. Gurbankin shoots it on. Blocked. Now try to play that one back up top to center. Cleared to the right side. Tavares will get it ahead. Now Sanheim. Regroups now in his own zone. Sanheim off the boards for Barkey. Back to Sanheim. Travis Sanheim will flip it to center. Dvorak battling forward with Ekman Larsson. Played ahead then by Matthews. Now Nylander. Cross ice pass. Through the zone. Myers with some room. Takes it behind the net. Can't get the wraparound chance completed. Now pass over is blocked. Nylander. Down low for Matthews. Matthews behind the net. Feeds it up top. Ekman Larsson to Myers, a shot. And that one goes wide. Now off the boards, Dvorak. Overhead then for Zegras, who flips it down low into the Toronto zone. 8:15 to go in the third. Up top, Cates. Trying to take this one down low. Will scoot back around. Clears it into the corner. Grabbing it then is Joshua. Joshua will flip it to center. Now Cam York will take it back. York to Andre. Andre will dump it down low with less than 8 to go in the third. Carlo to the right side. Up top now, Michelli. Below the line to Carlo. Carlo to Rielly, who flips it down low then into the Philadelphia zone. Emil Andre now behind the net. Carried around to the right side. 3-on-2 developing. Cates the Brink. Brink comes in, right side, shoots it, poked by Rielly. Not a very high eventful period here in terms of shots. Haven't got much of anything. Here's Michkov to Brink. Back to Michkov. Moves to center. Shoots it through the traffic. And blocked. Now the Leafs will clear to center with 7:13 to go. Sanheim. Chipped off the boards and back into the Toronto zone. McMahon. Back over then for Cowan. Cowan. Battling now with Gurbankin. Easton Cowan will flip it to center. Poke check by McCabe. Ristolainen back for Lawton. Scott Lawton carries it into the zone. Now Ristolainen. Regroups now below the line. Rasmus Ristolainen will now skate it with speed. He'll dump it into the Toronto end. Benoit clears it around then behind the net. Flyers get it back. Zegras with 6.5 minutes to go. We'll drop it back down low. Feels like we've been going here just for a whole 10 minutes. Here's Owen Tippett. Coming in with speed. He'll deke through the zone. Coming end to end. Through center. Shoots it. Blocked. It'll slide it on Stolars. He'll make the save. 6:12 in the third period. Thank you all for tuning in. We are tied at 1. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. It helps out the engagement. We have 40 likes here on this commentary. That is awesome. Thank you all so much for your support. It is greatly appreciated. Kirill Marchenko wins the game in overtime for the Blue Jackets. That's another big 2 points there for Columbus. They move into closer, or they move 2 points closer to the Boston Bruins for that last wild card spot. And again, guys, we will be live at 10:30 Eastern Time for Avalanche and Kings. That is the live commentary later on tonight, Avs and Kings. So be sure to tune into that one. Almost at 3,000 views here on this commentary. That is awesome. Thank you all so much for your continued support. It means the world to me. It's been so much fun commentating on this channel the last couple of weeks. We have had a phenomenal time.
It feels good to step out of line. It feels good to guide route.
All right. Back here for the latter stages of this third period. We're approaching crunch time here in Toronto. Still a 1-1 score. Shots are 2-2 in this third period. Shots are 20 apiece. Oh, that sucks, Sharky. I'm sorry. Go find your charger, bro. You still got time. Sixers taking on the Spurs. Had to let him say it because I couldn't think of the team name. All right, approaching crunch time here. 6:12 left to go in the third. Face-off is cleared back to center. Sanheim to Ristolainen. Rasmus Ristolainen back up then for Zegras. 3-on-3. Zegras drops it back. Tipping a shot into the chest of Stolarz. He'll cover up. And that's the first shot legitimately that we've seen in a while. It's been a very low event, low shot period here in the third. Shots 21-20 now. Face-off coming up here again now in the Toronto zone. Who will be the hero? Comment it down below. Face-off in the Toronto zone. It's won back then by the Maple Leafs. Ekman Larson cleared to center. Stolen back then by the Flyers. Sanheim trying to get it past the Zegras. Couldn't get it directly on. It'll go back into the Toronto zone. McCabe thrown to center. Matthews drops it back for McMahon. McMahon now through center. Gets knocked down low. Vladar. Back over then for Sanheim off the boards. Here's Barkey. Barkey to Ristolainen. Ristolainen comes in. Shoots it. Saved by Stolarz. Rebounds there in front. It goes wide. Nylander now battling forward with Brink. Brink in front. They score! Noah Cates finally breaks the tie. And the Flyers go ahead 2-1 with 5:18 on the clock. Noah Cates, his 12th goal of the season, finally breaks past Anthony Stolarz. Great recovery by Bobby Brink down low in the corner, a pass up top. And Noah Cates gives the Flyers the 2-1 lead here late in the third period. Assist on that goal is from Bobby Brink, his 12th goal of the season. We are about to enter crunch time here in the third. And the Flyers have taken a 2-1 lead late. On the right side in the Philadelphia zone, Drysdale picks it up down low. Jamie Drysdale to Brink. Now the final 5. Noah Cates will dump it down low here into the Toronto zone. Brink battling forward with Michkov. He's hit down low. Tried to get it back to center. Domi will backhand it into the Philadelphia end. Cam York played back to the right side. Couturier throws it to center. Grabbing it then is Myers. Phil Myers, cross ice pass for Nyes. Down low now, Ekman Larson. Denver Barkey gets the secondary assist. Oh, no, never mind. That's the other goal, my bad. And a trip down low here with 4:23 to go. And Denver Barkey takes a tripping penalty. 4:23 left to go in the third. The Toronto Maple Leafs will go to a power play following this commercial break. And suddenly, with time winding down, things just got increasingly interesting here. But it's Noah Cates from Bobby Brink. And it is a 2-1 lead for the Flyers. Thank you all for tuning in. We just crossed over the 3,000 view mark on this commentary. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you enjoy the commentaries. We do them every single week for all 32 teams. Like the stream as well. It helps out with the engagement. And now we get ready for the final 4.5 minutes of this third period. Toronto will get a chance to tie here on the power play. And I presume they may try and pull the goaltender as well. They might play it safe, though. Pulling the goaltender now could go badly. We'll see. Still a bit of time to go. They're not down by 2. Excuse me. All right. Final 4.5 minutes to go here. It was 2 goals in the first period. Joshua and Dvorak. No goals in the middle frame. And in the third period, after getting some pressure on Anthony Stolarz, Bobby Brink feeds a pass in front to Cates. He fires it low blocker on Anthony Stolarz. And the Philadelphia Flyers have a 2-1 lead late in the third. And a penalty from Toronto native Denver Barkey puts the Maple Leafs on a late power play. They have a chance to tie the game. My screen is frozen. This is the worst possible time to freeze. All right, we're back. Face off here in the Philadelphia zone is won by the Leafs. Down low in the corner, Nyes battling for it with Sanheim. Nylander's there as well, fighting with York. Up top, a shot from Matthews is fanned upon. Down low in the corner, cleared back up top to Riley. Riley dumped around behind the net. Puck is blown out of play, and they will blow the whistle solely for that reason. Don't forget, we'll be live later on tonight for Avalanche and Kings. That is the 10:30 p.m. commentary on this channel. Blackwood versus Forsberg. You won't want to miss it. Face off in the Philadelphia zone yet again is won by the Leafs. Riley to Nylander. Pass over, blocked. Dvorak will clear. He'll get it all the way down the other way. 3:50 left to go, 1:30 on the power play. Riley, played ahead for Nylander. Nylander now through center. Shoots it on, it goes wide of Vladar. Tavares to Nylander. Cleared back up top to Riley. Riley to Nyes. Nyes now below the line here in the Flyers' end. Up top, Riley to Nylander. Glove by Vladar. Glove down by Dan Vladar after a Nylander point shot. And that's the first shot for the Leafs in a while. There has not been a lot of opportunities for the... I don't think they've even had a shot since the power play they had early in the third. It's been a while. 3:24 left to go. Clock's a little bit ahead. Don't worry, I'll get it resumed up. Face off. Won by the Leafs. Riley to Nylander. Nylander down low. Nice. Pass in front. Riley can't get it. He'll keep it in the zone. Nylander with 45 to go. Pass in front. Tavares, a shot denied by Vladar. Matthews below the line. Riley cleared around, down low to the corner. Nice. Up top to Nylander. Jabbing at that puck with 2:50 to go in the third. Tavares Cleared up top. Riley to Matthews. Matthews, pass in front, blocked. Now York will throw it up to Riley. Morgan Riley at the point. Back to Tavares. Tavares to Matthews, below the line. Shot, saved by Vladar. He gets the cover up. Leafs will get it back, though. It stays in play. Here's Tavares to Riley. He scores! William Nylander ties the game. I thought Vladar got the cover, but it was not enough. 2.5 minutes to go, and the Leafs have tied the game. William Nylander once again. I thought Vladar was going to get the cover there on the right side, but alas, he could not. And we are tied. Unfortunate there for Dan Vladar and the Flyers. But the star power from the Leafs gets it done on the power play. William Nylander, his 20th goal of the year. And we are tied. Shots now 24-23 with 2.5 minutes to go exactly on the clock. You won't want to miss this finish. We're tied at 2. McCabe takes it back to the right side. Leafs will get it back and flick it to center. Joshua now battling for with Tippett. Nylander assisted by Tavares and Nyes. Here's Sanheim now behind the net for Philadelphia. The final 2 minutes to go in the third. Drysdale. Cross-ice pass will go all the way back into the Toronto zone. Stolarz down low now for McCabe. Jake McCabe will hold it behind the net then for the Maple Leafs. As the clock winds down, when there's a will, there's a way. Here's Nylander. Drops it back for McCabe. McCabe back to Nylander as an official was taken out by the puck. Here's Andre now below the line. McMahon battling forward here in the corner. Up top, shot, glove by Vladar. He makes sure this one's covered. With 1:22 on the clock. Maple Leafs starting to get pressure on. It seems like they've woken up here in these last 5 minutes. Flyers going to win. Let's go. Let's hope so. Let's hope so, Bianca. Thank you all for tuning in. Like the stream down below. We're at 48 likes. That's awesome. Thank you all for your continued support. This is a great one. Face-off now coming up again in the Philadelphia zone. Couturier versus Matthews. Off the draw, won by the Flyers. Sanheim clears it off the boards, tries getting it out. Kept in by the Leafs at the line. Taken back then by the Flyers who try and dump it down low. Dvorak takes a stick to the face. And there's no call. Approaching the final minute of play in regulation. Matthews to Nylander. Pass in front. Blocked by Vladar. Leafs will keep it in. Down low now, Sanheim. To the right side. Pass in front. Broken up. Cates. Ahead then for Tippett. Tippett will backhand it down low then into the Toronto zone. Now McCabe battling forward with Brink. Carlo. Below the line with 40 seconds to go. I am a Flyers fan. You're right. Brandon Carlo will flip it into the Philadelphia zone. Puck slides it on Vladar. He will make the save with 32 remaining on the clock. So William Nylander with his 20th goal of the season ties the game for the Maple Leafs. That is William Nylander's 28th point in a commentary, 13th goal in a live commentary stream as well. 32 seconds left to go. We have 160 people in the commentary. Thank you all so much for being here. All right. Flyers got some line changes off there. They're trying to get it done, and they're not allowing them to do so, despite it not being an icing. Referees telling those players to come back out after the late change. Talking to the refs about it. The Leafs are definitely not in a playoff spot, no. Face-off in the Philadelphia zone, won by the Flyers. Ristolainen off the boards. Here's Brink. Bobby Brink racing for it now down the other way. McCabe below the line with 20 seconds to go. Ekman-Larsson cleared to the right side. Matthews behind the net. 10 seconds to go. Matthews to Tavares. Stolen back by Couturier. Couturier battling for it with JT. They'll hold it against the boards. And ladies and gentlemen, 60 minutes was not enough. We are headed to overtime here in Toronto. Noah Cates with 5:18 left on the clock made it a 2-1 hockey game. No, the Leafs are not even anywhere near the wild card. No. So Noah Cates broke the tie to make it 2-1. William Nylander, a power play goal, made it 2-2. And now we look ahead to extra time here from Toronto. So a couple things to go over for those who are new. It is 5-minute overtime, 3-on-3. Whoever scores next wins. If we get through the 5 minutes without a goal, we will head to a shootout. Overtime history for both these teams. This is the first time ever the Philadelphia Flyers have been in an overtime game in Watch with Nordic history. Players on the Maple Leafs who have scored goals in overtime. Austin Matthews, who scored the second overtime goal ever, and William Nylander, who has 2. Nylander is tied for the second most of anybody who has scored goals in commentaries. He has 2 overtime winners, tied with Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid. The Flyers nor the Leafs are in a playoff spot, but Philadelphia will gain a point. It is the second of their last 3. You look back to Thursday. Matvei Michkov in overtime won the game for the Flyers. Will that be the same narrative here? We will find out. On the ice for both sides, Dvorak, Zegras, Sanheim. On the other side, Matthews, Riley, and Nylander. Overtime. Coming up here from Scotiabank Arena between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Philadelphia Flyers. And we are underway. Face-off won here by the Maple Leafs. McCabe regrouping around now down low. Back for Matthews. Austin Matthews now will carry it through center. Matthews comes in, drops it back up top. Nylander dekes around, back up to Matthews at the point. Maple Leafs are cycling. Matthews will come back out to center now and regroup. Shots 27-23. Picked back up now by Nylander, who will move it through center. Cross ice pass to Matthews. Matthews shoots it off of Vladar, back around behind the net. Flyers will get it back. Here's Dvorak. Now for Sanheim. Sanheim rushing into the zone. 2-on-2 with Zegras. Zegras scoots it back around. Michkov now on the ice for Dvorak. Zegras will flip it back then to Cam York as he gets off the ice and makes a change. Now Michkov, Tippett, and York against Riley, Tavares, and Nylander. Michkov around behind the net. Battling for it on the right side. He turns it over. Leafs get it back. Here's Morgan Riley. Drops it back now for Tavares. John Tavares now through center. Holds it up top. Cross ice pass to Nyes. Nyes up top. Brings it around. Try getting it in front. Stolen back then by Philly. Here's Michkov. Will look for options. Drops it back down low then for Tippett. And both teams will take a second and get a line change. Here's Drysdale. Flyers have yet to have a shot since the go-ahead goal in the third. Puck is dumped down low into the Toronto zone. McCabe will take it back then. 2 minutes gone in OT. Here's McCabe. Bringing it now through center. Jake McCabe drops it back for Domi. Domi Up top, will bring it back to center. He'll look for options. Now Jake McCabe. Thrown center now to Nyes. Nyes battling for now with Drysdale as the Flyers trying to get control of this puck. Taken back then by Domi to center. Battling for with Brink. Nyes down low will clear it back into the Maple Leaf zone. Stolars will play it to Riley. Here's Morgan Riley. Cross ice pass. Coming in as Matthews. Scooting it back around up top. Matthews to Nylander. Wide of Vladar. Puck goes all the way back into the Maple Leaf zone. Stolars out of his net to play it. Racing for it was Zegras. Flipped around then for Riley. Here's Nylander. He'll send Matthews. One-on-one with Risto. Matthews comes in. Saved by Vladar. It's in the crease. He covers. They blow the play dead with 2:04 to go. And it was Austin Matthews who got around Risto. That would have been some lazy movement there by Risto. Not even getting on Matthews, laying the body or anything. But thankfully, Vladar makes the save. Bails his teammate out. Shots now 30-23. Flyers are still looking for their first shot since the go-ahead goal. Thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream as well. I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yeah, something's being called. I think it's a timeout. Or they're cleaning the ice. That could be it also. I don't know why they clean the ice now. Yeah, it's a timeout. Couldn't hear it on my screen. Sorry. I apologize, everyone. But thank you all for being here. Wow, 180 people in this regular season commentary. Being told it's a Leafs timeout. So there you go. Don't forget, not long from now, we'll be live for the LA Kings and the Colorado Avalanche. 10:30 p.m. game time starts. Stream starts at 10:28. So 10 minutes from now, essentially. Who do I think are the top 3 shootout goalies? I can't tell you off the top of my head. There's some really good ones, but I can't think of any right now. There's some good ones, though. 2:04 left to go in OT. Face-off in the Philadelphia zone. And it's won by Philadelphia. It's Cates, Couturier, and York against Nylander, Matthews, and I think that's Carlo. Cates drops it back to Couturier. Couturier all the way back then. Through the zone, Sanheim. Brings it through center. Comes in. Shot saved by Stolars. Leafs get it back. It's Nylander ahead then for Matthews. Matthews battling for it then with Cates. Down low here. They'll battle for it with 1:35 to go. Philadelphia gets it back. Couturier. 3-on-3 now through center. Coots will come in as the Flyers get a change off. It's Coots to Michkov. Michkov up top to Tippett. Stolen back by the Leafs. It's a 2-on-1. Nylander with Matthews. Nylander circles around to Matthews. Poke checked by York. Coming up to the last minute of overtime. Flyers get it back. It's Michkov. Stolen back by the Leafs immediately. Here they come the other way. It's McCabe. Drop back for Nylander. Nylander stolen back by Michkov. He tried to backhand it off the boards. Puck slides in on Vladar. He makes the save. Now York will send Tippett and Michkov, who are tired. Tippett dekes around. Can't get the puck in time. Stolen back then by the Maple Leafs, who will take it the other way with 44 seconds to go. Tavares into the zone in front. Nylander. Matthews' shot is wide. He was left all alone. Here come the Flyers. 2-on-1 with 30 seconds to go. It's York. Shot off the post. 30 seconds left on the clock exactly. Are you serious? Are you freaking kidding me? Right off the post. Oh, my Lord. "30 seconds left on the clock. Thank you all so much for being here. Face off in the Toronto zone. One by Philly. Sanheim, a shot on, is blocked. Picked back up then by Domi. One last rush the other way. 2-on-2. Domi comes in, dekes around, pass in front, poke check by the Flyers. 15 seconds to go. Stolars will play it back down low. Ekman Larson will bring it around now behind the net. OEL now battling for it with Dvorak. 5 seconds to go. Dvorak down low in front. Zegras fanned on the shot, and we're going to a shootout. Overtime was not enough, and we will head to a shootout to decide this one. So for shootout, it'll be a 5-round shootout. Whoever has the most amount of goals through those first 5 rounds will win. And if there is not, through the first 5 rounds or so, we'll keep on going till there is one. Neither of these two teams, I don't believe, have been to a shootout in Watch with Nordic history, not according to my records. So it's a first for both these sides. Thank you all so much for being here. 200 people here in this commentary stream. What a start to March. Wow. Thank you all so much. A strong performance from both goaltenders. The save percentages will stay as follows. Dan Vladar, .935. 29 saves on 31 shots. Anthony Stolars, .920. 23 saves on 25 shots. A great game from both goaltenders. And we'll get ready for a shootout here from Toronto. This is the Maple Leafs' 3rd shootout of the season. The Flyers' 9th. Yeah, the Oilers acquired Connor Murphy today. That's a good ad. Alrighty. Up first to shoot is the man who tied the game in the 3rd. It's William Nylander. I'll do my best to commentate shootout goals. It's not something that we do very often here on the channel. But here we go. William Nylander now up to shoot. Here on Vladar. William Nylander will pick it up at center. He'll come in fast, skates in, forehand, backhand, scores! William Nylander puts it top corner on Dan Vladar, and the Leafs get the early shootout lead. And he tried to flick it through the glove. He got it there up top. Bar down ski. Kind of. Up next is Matvei Michkov. A known dangler in the shootout in his young career. Michkov picks it up at center with overwhelming boos. Down the right side slowly. Comes to center. Forehand, backhand, scores! A beautiful move by Matvei Michkov. And the Flyers immediately tie it in the shootout. Up next to shoot for the Leafs is Austin Matthews. Matthews, 2 for 2 in the shootout this year. Down the bench side, comes in fast. Backhand denied by Vladar. Now to the bottom of the 2nd. We just crossed over 4,000 views on this commentary stream. Thank you all so much. That's awesome. Now up next to shoot is Trevor Zegras. He can take the lead here. He's 4 for 7 this season in the shootout. Zegras comes into center, fires it and scores! Trevor Zegras takes the 2-1 lead for Philadelphia. And now it's a must score for Toronto. He slowed it down, fired it essentially where William Nylander was. And now Max Domi has to score. He'll come down the right side, fires it off the post. And the Flyers win the hockey game. Despite blowing the lead late in the 3rd period, Trevor Zegras and Matvei Michkov with shootout goals. And the Flyers get the win here in this first commentary of March. Wow, what a start. You just got to give it a round of applause. I mean, again, we're going to do so many commentaries this month. It's going to be a fun month, but wow, what a start. All right, I can't be live for much longer. I got to get ready for the start of the Avalanche and Kings. That is the next game up in the Watch with Nordic commentaries. Thank you all so much for being here. What a stream. Thank you all for being in the chat. 200 people here watching this one. Thank you all so much. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Like the stream. And I will see you guys in about 2 minutes for Abs and Kings.